빠밤 빰빰빰 빠밤빰빰 빰빰빰 빠람빠람빠람 빰빠람빰빰 빠빠라빠빠빠빠빠 빠라빠라빠라 빠빠라빠빠빠빠빠빠빠 푸푸푸 뿌르뿌르뿌르. 일단 Let's see how it goes. 이거 시작하자마자 진행되는 그런 분류인가? 봐야 돼. 전체 이용가가 아닙니다, 여러분. 안녕하세요, 서드사인이고요. 오늘 할 게임은요, 공포 게임이며 전체 이용가가 아닙니다. 이게 여러 의미가 있을 거예요. 여러 의미가 있을 거니까 여러분들이 확실하게 아셔야 됩니다. 심지어 관감인성도 있어요. 그러니까 잘 생각해야 됩니다. 이 어두운 곳에서 어떤 어려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다 보아주세요. 잘못된 엔딩은 없습니다. 잘못된 선택도 없습니다. 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시작만이 존재합니다. 이것은 사랑에 관한 이야기입니다. Slay the Princess. 일단은 설정에 살짝 들어갔어요. 됐어요. 이건 됐어요. 사운드가 살짝 작은 것 같으니까 좀만 키울게요. 자, 시작해봅시다. Slay the Princess입니다. 챕터 1. 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
항상 공주가 있기 마련입니다. 이게 그래픽이 굉장히 예뻐요. 이게 시점을 이렇게 마우스를 옮기다 보면은 그림이 분리가 되어 있는 게 보이죠.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the
다들
end
어서 오세요.
of the world.
자, 당신의 역할은 공주를 죽이는 것입니다. 죽이지 않는다면 세상은 멸망할 것입니다. 탐색? 멸망? 그게 무슨 소리지? 아니, 애초에 공주를 가둬놓았기 때문에 공주가 세상을 끝장내려 하는 거 아니야? 아무리 그래도 공주를 죽이다니 너무 심하지 않아? 나 말고 다른 사람에게 맡길 수는 없는 거야. 됐어, 난 안 할래. 내가 세상이 끝장난다고 해도 신경 쓰지 않을 거란 가능성은 생각 안 했어. 뭐 많아요. 이 일에 대한 보상 같은 건 없어. 아, 그렇군. 설명해줘서 고마워. 좋았어. 군주의 목을 치러 가볼까. 혁명 만세. 조용히 오두막에 들어간다. 돌아서서 떠난다. 일단은 가봅시다. 멸망? 뭔 소리지?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
뭐 모두가 죽는다니까. 근데 궁금하잖아. 하지만 지하실에 갇힌 공주가 어떻게 세상을 끝장낸다는 거야? 이거 여러분들이 안 보이겠다. 잠깐만 있어봐. 좀 치워줄게요. 치워줄게요.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
뭐 그래. 뭐 그럴 수 있지. 그 말에 증거는 있어?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
뭐 틀린 말은 아니야. 자, 그러면은 가보자고. 일단 오두마에 가서 공주와 대화해보겠어. 만약에 정말 공주가 네 말대로 사악하다면 내가 공주를 죽일지도 모르지. 하지만 직접 만나보기 전엔 아무것도 단정 지을 생각이 없어.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
그러니까 일단 공주가 뭔가 문제가 있나 보네요. 그죠?
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
근데 내가 실패하면 다 죽는 거야? 진짜로?
So sure, go talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
저 친구가 좀 그렇다. 말하는 본세가 좀 그렇다. 그쵸? 아니 저 친구 뭔가 말하는 본세가 좀 그런데 얘 이 뭐 많이 알고 있는 건가 얘는?
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses,
그러니까,
not slay them.
그러니까 우리는 공주를 구해야 되는 거지. 죽이는 게 영웅의 목소리라네요.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
영웅의 목소리랑 해설자랑 다른 친구구나. 야, 이미 내 목소리가 2개나 있는 거야? 오두막에 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is almost
다들
entirely
안녕하세요.
bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note
야,
is a plain wooden
잠깐만,
table.
진짜로 죽여야
Perched
되는
on
거야?
that table
단검이
is a
있다고?
pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need
오.
it if you want to do this right.
야, 근데 일단 안에 있는 게 공주가 아닐 수도 있잖아, 그치? 안에 있는 게 공주가 아닐 수도 있으니까 일단 단검을 가져가는 옵션이 있어도 되지 않을까요? 생각해봐. 안에 뭐가 있던 간에 단검을 안 쓰면 되잖아, 그치? 단검을 가져간다.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
그치. 얘가 뭔지 모르니까 공주를 죽이는 게임이에요. 자, 보시면 됩니다. 지하실에 들어간다. 야, 칼로 바뀌었어. 이거 지금 마우스가 아까는 손가락이었는데 칼로 바뀌었어. 지하실에 들어간다.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
그러니까 뭐야, 공주가 뭘 했길래 이런 곳에다가
Her voice carries up the stairs.
그녀의 목소리가 계단을 타고 올라옵니다.
Who's there?
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous.
오.
It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
영웅의 목소리가 지금 살짝 떨리고 있어요.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
해설자는 여전히 공주를 죽여야 된다라는 쪽이고요. 안녕? 그냥 괜찮은지 보러 왔어. 안녕, 널 죽이러 하는데 일단은 응답을 하지 말고 계단에 내려갑시다.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
이성의 귀를 기울이고 있군요. 공주인데?
Walk down the stairs.
뭐야?
And lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
오.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
그러니까 아니 이렇게 생긴 애가 멸망을 시킨다고? 이상한데?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
왔구나. 용건이 뭐야? 날 죽일 거야? 지금 좀 근데 야 이거 이상하지 않아요, 여러분들? 아니 이게 2개인데 체인이 1개를 끊어 먹은 거야? 뭐 그럴 리가. 내가 왜 그러겠어. 그래, 들키는 널 죽이러 왔어. 아니 아직 결정하지 않았어. 대화하러 왔을 뿐이야. 결의를 굳이고 다 간다. 아직 결정하지 않았어로 가봅시다.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
그냥 칼을 놓고 대화하는 건 어때?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the
야,
blade and talk things
이
out.
분이 나까지 못 오지 않을까? 칼을 내려놔도?
Don't you dare.
절대 안 돼요.
It's fine. We can decide what we want
그러니까.
to do after we talk to her.
그러니까 먼저 말을 하고 그 다음에 죽여도 되는 거잖아.
Very becoming of us.
그래. 아니 그냥 아무런 이유 없이 먼저 사람을 죽이는 건 말이 안 된다고 난 생각하거든. 단검을 떨어뜨렸다가 다시 잡으면 되는. 자, 그 전에 죽을래나? 야, 떨어뜨리는 순간 죽는 걸까? 아니야, 잠깐만. 이거는 모르는 거야. 그러니까 저 공주가 날 죽일 수도 있잖아. 단검을 쥐고는 있자. 떨어뜨리진 말자고. 아닌가? 쥐고는 있자.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on.
그래. 이게 무슨 일이 일어날 줄 모르는 거야.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
이 누나 좀 무서운데? 이 누나 좀 뭔가 있어. 뭔가 있어.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
결의를 다지며 단검에 진 손에 힘을 줍니다.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right?
그니까.
And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
아니 누나 말이 맞는 것 같거든요. 이 정도로 위험한 누나였다면 애시당초 단검으로 이 누나를 상대할 수 없지 않을까? 뭐지?
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
그리고 이 누나가 생각해봐. 이 누나가 만약에 우리를 그냥 시험하는 걸 수도 있잖아. 아니 직접 가가지고 찌르지 않아도 그냥 그렇게 될 수 있잖아. 그런 거 아니야?
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
지금 뭘 했는지도 모르는데? 아니 뭘 했는지도 모르는데 죽이라고? 아니 그건 아닌데? 허풍이 아니라면 공주가 우리를 죽인다면 어떡하지? 비무장 상태인 게 확실한 거야? 미안 그냥 대화할까? 단검을 떨어뜨릴 생각은 없어. 단검을 떨어뜨리다 공주를 죽인다. 단검을 아니야. 허풍이 아니라면 공주가 우리를 죽인다면 어떡하지? 야 그냥 궁금하긴 하잖아.
You go into this expecting to die. You're going to die.
아, 그 정도의 각오라면 정말로 죽임을 당할 것입니다.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized
아니
with each other?
이성적으로 생각하는 게 맞거든? 칼을 떨구는 게 맞는데 너도 그냥 말을 해주면 되지 않아 지금? 단검을 떨어뜨릴 생각은 없어. 아니야.
Then I'm not talking to you.
아니 야 단검을 떨어뜨린다. 좋았어. 내가 한 발 물러설 테니까 한번 해보자.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious
이제
clang.
나랑 말할 거예요?
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
이야기해 봅시다.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
이 누나 이상해. 봐봐. 체인이 한쪽이 없다는 게 이해가 안 돼. 야, 그렇게 위험한 존재인데 체인을 한 개밖에 안 해놨다고? 어떻게 그럴 수가 있지?
We'll be fine.
우린 괜찮을 거야.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the
그러니까
floor.
나중에 필요할 때 저 단검을 잡으면
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
너무 짜서 한 개만 묶었다. 그래 참 어색하군. 관계 날 유혹하는 거야? 어떻게 해야 내 여기서 나갈 수 있지? 난 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 해서 왔어. 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라는 사람들이 있는데 거기에 대해 할 말 있어? 이름이 뭐지? 얼마나 여기 오래 있었지? 내가 널 죽이러 온 건 알아? 일단은 직접적으로 물어보자고. 난 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 해서 왔어.
Don't just tell her that.
왜 안 돼? 왜 안 되는데?
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
지금은 그렇게 생각이 좀 될 것 같아요, 누나.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
그런 거 같긴 해. 이상해. 지금 뭔가 앞뒤가 안 맞아. 그러면 하지만 알려주지 않은 이유가 있겠지.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
What if they're bad reasons, though?
나쁜
If they
이유?
had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I
그래도
just want to leave.
그래도 뭔가 이유가 있겠지. 나한테 네가 말해줄 수 있는 이유가 있지 않을까?
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
신뢰라고?
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
그러니까 지금 뭔가 이 상황이 굉장히 이상하지 않니 너도?
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question
그러니까
the
이 상황이
situation,
뭔가
and there's a
이상해.
reason you've
영웅의
listened.
목소리가 맞는 것 같아.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
틀린 말은 아니긴 해. 로지컬해.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth
그래도
anything.
뭔가 나를 설득시킬 만한 그런 게 있을지도 모르잖아.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
목적 없는 신뢰라고? 너도 날 믿지 않는데?
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk.
위험에
We
대한
stand
얘기게?
to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
왕족의 목숨 한 명 때문에 세상이 멸망한다는 거지? 레오님 안녕하세요. 이름이 뭐지? 이름이 뭐진 중요하지. 이름이 뭐지?
She hesitates before answering.
그럼 말해줘. 이름 말해줄 수 있잖아.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
아니 이름을 알려주시면 안 될까요, 우리?
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
눈빛이 이상해요. 아직 시작 안 했어. 지금 시작한 지 15분 됐어요. 관계? 지금 나 유혹하는 거야? 이건 말도 안 되고. 내 어떻게 널 해 여기 나가게 할 수 있지? 그래 이거 궁금하다. 그래 어떻게? 그러니까 이걸 체인에 풀어주면 되는 거 아니야?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't,
없다면?
well, we can always put that knife to good use.
칼을 쓰라고요? 칼을 쓰라고요? 게임 제목이요. Slay the Princess. 잠깐만 칼을 어떻게 써서? 손 잘라내는 거야?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
잠깐 진심?
She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting.
진심?
Right? She is. I'm sure of it.
진심인가 봐. 얘 잠깐 너무 이상한데? 얼마나 오래 있었지?
Too long.
Too long. 과연 이제 대화는 충분해.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
목적이 있긴 하지. 공주를 죽인다. 나갈 수 있게 도와주지. 널 여기 좀 더 가둬둘 거야. 어떻게 할지 결정하기 전까지. 근데 일단 좀 더 이야기를 들어봐야 되지 않을까요? 공주를 가둔다.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
그러니까 이 정도 타협이면 되는 거 아닐까?
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find
아니
a way.
해설자야 생각해봐. 우리가 지금 얘가 못 나갔잖아. 이 공주님이 못 나갔잖아. 그러면 못 나가는 이유가 있지 않을까?
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help.
아니 그렇다면 이미 찾았겠지. 너는 지금 못 나가잖아. 날 도와줄 수 없겠니?
And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
이 누나 이상한데? 공주를 죽인다. 얘 그래 뭐 원래 목적이 있었으니까 얘 죽인다.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
졌어?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her
누나?
elbow.
누나?
We shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing
야,
bones.
이 누나 뭔가 있었네.
Making sure you stay down.
잠깐, 이 누나, 우리 손도 이상한, 우리 손인데 얘 이상한데?
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight she didn't think her slight frame could possibly
아니,
possess.
네, 누나 뭐예요?
As you
뭐 하는
gasp for air,
분이셨어요?
she eyes you
누나
with an
무서운데요?
intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
칼을 처음부터 찔렀어야 되나 그러면?
Is this really the best you could do?
오,
Look at you.
누나.
Completely broken.
I'd
I'd be lying if
누나.
I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
누나.
She applies more pressure,
오,
slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
와 이렇게 죽는다고?
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is.
이렇게
Everything
죽는다고?
goes dark, and you die.
오. 뭐야? 챕터 2 성체? 뭐야?
You're on a path
뭐야?
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
어?
You're here to slay her.
어?
If you don't, it will
뭐야?
be the end of the world.
뭐라고요? 아니, 야, 이 끔찍한 데자뷰가 잠깐 이거 일어났던 일 아니야? 아니, 난 죽었을 텐데. 뭐야?
I can assure you that you're not dead.
뭐?
And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
어라?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's
아,
best to keep it that
해설자가
way.
전 루프를 영웅은 기억하는데 해설자는 기억 못 하나 본데?
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
오.
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
그니까.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time
아니,
second-guessing
세상을
yourself.
구하는 임무가 공주를 죽이는 거라는 건 여전히 이해가 안 가긴 하는데 이미 한번 죽었기 때문에 도끼가 생겼습니다. 자, 내 말대로 이 모든 일이 일어났던 일이라고 치자. 내가 왜 네 말을 들어야지? 이 모든 일에 의미가 있냔 말이야.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
뭔데요?
Let's say for a moment that this really
두
is
번째로
the second
만났잖아.
time you've met me, or you died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't
아, 제
listen.
말대로 하지 않았기 때문이다.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then?
절망의
What were we
목소리가
supposed
새로
to do to stop her
생겼네.
now? It's pointless.
세 번째 친구가 생겼어요.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to
아니,
actually
죽이는
prove
게
this point.
어렵지 않던 데가 아니라 겁나
And I
어렵던데.
believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any
아니, 아무 의미도
consequences.
없었잖아. 실제로 우리가 뭔가 정보를 얻어내려고 했지만 결국 죽은 건 우리잖아요.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences.
그러니까.
The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started.
그래.
That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
그러니까 아무 의미 없는 거 아니야?
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead
그거는 모르지.
transported to a
공주가 뭐
different
어떻게 했나 보지.
world entirely?
아니, 공주가 뭔가를 했나 보지 그러면.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
세상이 멸망했나요?
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
세상을 끝장내셨나요?
If she ended the entire
그러니까.
world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same.
그래, 결국 다 똑같은 거 아니야?
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up.
그러니까 내가
I believe
죽이면 된다는 거야? 야, 가보자. 가서 일단 한번 죽이기나 해보자.
A warning before you go any
왜
further.
왜?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
그냥 이번에는 아무것도 하지 말고 그대로 가서
We might as
찔러보자.
well just pledge ourselves to her.
빌자고?
Stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation.
아이, 야,
She
그거는-
probably doesn't even need to try.
그건
to
아니지.
overpower us.
그건 그래도 야, 그냥 가서 죽이자.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
햇님과 나무꾼 저질 한번 안아보자고. 아, 러브로 가자고? 아니야, 러브로 가기엔 너무 무섭다.
Pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't
빌지 말래잖아.
pledge yourself
그래.
to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter.
야,
Rescue her? given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference.
그러니까 구해주면 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 하는데 근데 아까 한번 죽어보니까 멸망시킬 것 같긴 해.
So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world.
그래. 알았어.
Let's not make this harder than it has
해설자
to
한번
be.
믿어봅시다. 해설자 한번
That's what
믿어봅시다.
you want. I guess I don't have a say here.
이 절망의 목소리 되게 너무 뭔가 슬프고 무섭고 뭐야
The
여기
interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its
뭐야?
humble exterior would suggest.
뭐야 이거
The only furniture of note is
뭐야,
a
이거?
massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
갑자기 야, 원래 이렇지 않지 않았나요?
We don't feel small. We are small.
벽에 걸린 거울에 대해서 말하지 않았잖아.
That's because there isn't a mirror.
있잖아.
There's the altar, the blade sitting on the
있잖아.
altar, and the door to the basement.
아니 거울 있잖아
There's nothing
거울이.
else in here. There's
거울 있잖아.
definitely a mirror. There isn't.
있잖아.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die
아니 있잖아.
anyway.
야.
And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make
아니 거울이 있잖아. 뭔 소리야?
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror.
아니
So no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future.
거울 있잖아.
So, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you.
뭔 소리야?
Probably look perfectly normal.
야 해설자 너 약했니?
Probably. Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
야 잠깐만 거울에 다가간다. 아니 거울 있잖아. 거울 있잖아.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door.
거울 있잖아.
It's a wall. This really isn't funny.
뭔데? 거울에 닦는다.
You reach forward
뭐야?
and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
뭐야?
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
야 잠깐만 일단은 단검을 가져갑시다.
You take the blade from the altar.
일단 단검을
It would be
가져가자고.
difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
지하실에 들어간다.
The door to the basement
이번에
creaks
아까랑
open,
다른데?
revealing a spiral staircase.
손 상태 이상해요.
Its steps almost as deep as you
인간이
are
아닌 것
tall.
같아.
The smell of incense drifts up from below.
향 냄새가 올라온다고?
For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
뭐라?
This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably
아니
doing
그래
her a
뭐 일단
favor.
죽이는 거 좋아 이번엔
A
죽이자고.
booming voice rolls up
경력
the
같은 목소리?
stairs.
Is that a guest I hear?
어라?
Don't linger on the
어라?
stairs.
어라?
Come down and witness me.
어라라?
You weren't kidding when you said it
야,
was
야 아까랑 다른데? 다른
She
분인가?
wasn't like this last time. We need to get down.
야 이게
there.
다른 분이
She wants us
계신데요?
to see her. We need to see her.
왜?
Should we be worried about your
그니까.
sudden change in attitude?
뭐야?
Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless
매료당했니?
everything was. Now you want to go down there.
매혹의 손길 같은 거에 맞았니?
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
일단 내려가 봅시다.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort. Every step
되게 많이
requiring you
내려왔나
to
보다.
clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
어떻게 생기신 분이길래?
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
아니 누나 잠깐만요. 아니 아까랑 다르시잖아요. 어떻게 된 거예요, 누나?
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless.
아이 저기 누나가 아까랑 너무 다르신데요?
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what
누나는
he
내가
wants.
야 1회차에 그게 있나 본데 기억이 있나 본데 이분은?
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
오.
Drop it.
버려라. 아, 네. 네. 아, 자, 이거 버려야 되지 않을까? 야, 이게 여기 무슨 의미가 있지? 이거는 버리는 게 맞지 않나요? 아니, 야, 이거 잠깐만. 야, 이거 뭘 해야 되냐? 야, 이거는 버리는 게 맞지 않아? 야, 이거 어떻게 이겨? 아, 야, 이거는, 야, 이거는 버리는 게 맞는 것 같은데. 그런가? 죽방 때린 누님이 더 세 보인가? 야, 의지가 가득 차올랐다? 아, 그래, 움켜진다.
As if on command, the blade
아닌데?
slips from your grasp.
잠깐만, 뭐가
It
이상한데요?
clatters uselessly to the floor.
이상한데요? 야, 내 의지와 상관없이 게임이 알아서 진행되는데? 맞냐, 이거?
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just gonna let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
야, 이거는 그냥 펌블 엔딩인데?
Of course we dropped it.
아, 공주는 우리보다 훨씬 더 우월한 존재야.
You wouldn't understand.
야, 그래, 이게 대단한 존재시잖아요, 딱 봐도.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
야, 이거 매혹당한 게 아니라 진짜로 밟혀 죽겠는데, 이거는.
Kneel.
아, 네. 꿇겠습니다. 꿇겠습니다. 꿇어야죠. 아유, 꿇어야죠. 아유, 죄송합니다. 제가 감히 바라보려고 했습니다. 죄송합니다. 아유, 죄송해요. 꿇어야죠.
That's my good little bird.
네네네네.
Now, why don't we talk?
아, 이야기를 해볼까요? 아유, 좋습니다.
The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
왜요? 무슨 일이 뭐 때문에 각성하신 거죠, 갑자기?
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is
지금
now
세계가
is overdue for
지금 세계는 썩어버린 거군요.
alterations.
아, 썩어버렸구나. 썩어버린 거구나. 그렇구나.
It's time for me to seize my destiny.
도와드려야죠.
And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
도와드려야죠. 아유, 그럼요.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it?
아, 그쵸.
It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done.
장르가 코스믹
I can
호러로
only
가는 것
hope it
같습니다.
helped you learn a valuable lesson.
처음에 나와요. 이건 공포 게임이라고. 야, 근데 뭐 어떻게 할 수 있는 방법이 없지 않아?
You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she?
아니, 근데 지금 상황에서 뭐 어떻게 하게? 칼로 찔러서 죽인다는 것 자체가 말이 안 되는데 지금?
Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is
저런
inevitable.
여친이면 세계 멸망해도 괜찮을지도.
Can't you feel it?
세계가 멸망하는 게 문제가 아니라 지금 나까지 죽게 생겼잖아요.
He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is
그러니까 우리가 어떻게
he?
막을
What
수
are we
있지?
supposed to do to stop her?
막을 수 있는 방법이 있을 거 아니야.
Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done.
그게
The
뭔데?
stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the
야,
world,
이미-
you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
야, 이미 정신적으로 졌는데요? 아니, 이거는 이길 수가 없는 싸움이잖아요, 처음부터. 내게 뭘 시킬 생각이지? 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 운명이라고 해서 정말 그래야 하는 건 아니야. 결정을 내리기 전에 질문이 몇 가지 있어. 내가 죽고 나면 어떤 일이 있었지? 네가 세상을 멸망시키는 걸 도울 생각 없어. 새로운 세상 같은 거에도 관심 없어. 저는 공주님의 것입니다. 야, 아니, 나 솔직히 나머지 다 필요 없고 이건 것 같은데? 야, 이런 공주님이면은 충성을 맹세할 수 있을 거라고 난 생각하는데, 저는 공주님의 것입니다.
Your will was so
맞아요.
easily broken.
전능하십니다.
Am I that magnificent?
전능하십니다. 맞습니다.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
그럴까요? 그러도록 합지요.
If this is what you
눈-
want, then I guess
아유,
there's
눈나.
not much else for me to say.
누나. 왜 이거 그렇게 하는 게 맞지?
No, you You can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
아니 근데 지금 카이도 떨궜잖아. 카이도 떨궜는데 여기서 뭘 어떻게 해?
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me.
이 보니까 복종할 것 같아요. 자네들도 이상하구만. 쉬운 남자라뇨. 아니 쉬운 남자가 아니라 이걸 남자라고 치안해도 이거는 이길 수 없는 싸움이잖아요.
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person.
어?
It's something different now.
잠깐만 이 목소리가 다 실제로 존재하는 인격인가?
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
오.
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
오.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
야 해설자.
I don't care what you are.
오.
You're mine.
오. 뭐야?
Rise, my little
잠깐만 해설자 어떻게 됐어? 해설자야?
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
오. 해설자야? 해설자야 잠깐만. 해설자야? 야 해설자야?
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
해설자야? 그래야 이미 끝났어. 믿지 않는다면 그때 어떻게? 야, 이 궁금하다. 믿지 않는다면 그때 어떻게 되죠?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe.
와.
You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart.
오.
It's easy. And once you let her in,
와.
you'll be safe and free forever.
어우.
Please don't do this.
아, 근데 야, 여기 더 할 수 있는 방법이 없잖아. 이미 끝났어. 공주의 족쇄를 끊는다.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
와.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
아, 갈까요? 이제 어떻게 되죠?
Nothing, and then everything.
오. 공주의 손을 잡는다. 오! 뭐야 이 손 뭐야? 어? 어? 그러나 당신은 그녀의 손을 잡지 못했다. 무언가가 그녀를 데려가고 그 자리에 무언가를 남겨두었다.
She's gone.
어?
Where did she go?
야, 해설자 어디 갔어? 해설자.
There's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
해설자 어디 갔어? 그녀가 어디 갔는지 모르겠어. 그리고 어디서 찾아야 할지도 몰라. 해설자가 사라졌어. 야, 해설자가 사라졌어. 어서 오세요. 예.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
그러게. 야, 세상이 멸망한 건가 진짜로?
Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
그녀가 어디 갔는지 모르겠어.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that
뭐야?
awful thing. Feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
불안한 건 모르겠는데 거울을 들여다 봐야 될 것 같은데 그러면?
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. I
아니야?
don't want to look at us.
아이 보자.
I'm begging you, don't.
아이 보자.
do this.
보자. 뭔지 보야지. 궁금하잖아. 당신은 거울에 다가간다. 거울에 비친 자신을 바라본다. 당신이 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 모두들 사라졌다. 하지만 거울은 그대로 있다. 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인할 때다. 오, 당신이다. 저거 약간 그거 아닌가요? 모니터가 검어졌을 때 보이는 여러분들의 모습 아닌가요? 당신은 텅 빈 공간에 혼자 서 있다. 고요하다. 오두막에 간다? 오두막에 간다. 어? 이 누나 여기 있네요? 뭐야? 이 누나가 집이야? 당신은 오두막에 있다. 그녀에게 다가간다.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
넌 뭔가요? 넌 뭔가요?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
저는 뭘까요? 고독한 빛? 그게 무슨 뜻이야?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
솔로의 빛이래. 미쳤나봐. 넌 내가 뭐라고 생각해?
I think that you are like me.
아, 너도 솔로니?
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
이게 세상의 멸망이야?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
아니 그렇긴 해. 우리가 대화할 수 있다는 것 자체가 말이 안 되는데 그러면? 네가 공주를 죽이라고 날 보낸 거야? 네가 날 여기 가둔 거야?
I have only just now stirred
아 방금
consciousness.
태어난 얘는.
I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
우리 네가 공주야?
She is part of me,
오,
and part of me is her.
약간 자의식 같은 건가? 네가 처음부터 공주였다는 거야? 아니면 공주를 네 일부분으로 만들고 있다는 거야?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins?
얘가
and another
공주긴
ends?
한 거네. 그러면 엔티티를 공격한다. 이제 어떻게 되지? 바깥 세상에 해설자에 대해 알아? 그래, 해설자에 대해 알아?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
오.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
이제 어떻게 되지?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit.
야,
But this
이상한데요,
vessel
이거?
is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives,
엄마는
so
그래서
that I may
가져왔어요.
be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
오, 야, 이거 약간 그런 건가? 이게 이런 형태들이 많은 거야? 공주의 형태가 많은 건가, 그러면? 내가 널 죽일 방법을 찾을까봐 두렵지 않아?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
그냥 개체네. 난 공주가 세상을 파괴하는 것을 막기 위해 공주를 죽이라는 부탁을 받았어. 내가 널 도우면 세상을 파괴할 거야?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
의미론적인 말이잖아. 널 도우면 어떤 걸 할 생각이지?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
좋아, 있게 해줘. 야, 바로 다음 거에 찾아보자 그러면.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
그녀가 당신에게 자신을 기억해달라고 하는군요. 오, 공주가?
You won't.
모든 것은 어두워지고 당신은 죽는다. 오, 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods.
야, 건너뛰기 있다. 건너뛰기 있다. 건너뛰기 있다. 야, 조용히 오두마에 가자. 아, 잠깐 돌아서서 떠나볼까? 야, 돌아서서 떠나보자. 궁금하다.
Seriously?
Oh.
You're just going to turn
야,
around
해설자
and
돌아왔네. 그리고
Do you even know where you're going?
어디로 가긴. 야, 너는 기억 못할지 모르겠지만 난 지금 엄청난 걸 겪고 왔어 임마. 너가 이렇게 나한테 대하면 안 돼 지금. 세상이 끝장이 나더라도 상관없어. 우리의 것이 아닌 새로운 세상을 기꺼이 받아들이겠어. 당장 반대 방향으로 걸어갈 거야.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever.
새로운 세상 따위 없는 게 아니라 살아야 될 거 아니야. 난 관계하고 싶지 않아. 이런 상황은 아니야.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
그래. 오두막 반대 방향으로 가보자고.
Good. What we're being asked to do here
이건
is
아니야.
wrong.
이건 아니야.
Better to wash our hands of this whole situation.
그래, 이거
rather than
아니야.
take part in it.
이게 아니라고.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking
아니야.
about.
우리가 하는 말이 정확히 맞아. 해설자 네가 뭘 모르는 거야 지금 이거는.
That's
시벌?
strange. It looks like this path
안돼
also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world
안돼
can still be safe
잠깐만
after all.
안돼 아니 잠깐만 돌아서서 다시 떠나 또 다시 야 이게 루프네 이거는 야 이거 아니잖아. 아, 잠깐만 야 잠깐만 야 우리가 저번에요 안 죽였잖아. 죽여보자. 야, 이번에 죽여보자.
That's great to hear. As long as you bring that
죽여보자.
fiery attitude to
그냥 칼
Princess
들고
Leia, I think this will all
들어가서
resolve splendidly.
찌르자. 그러니까 말을 하지 말고
Warning before you go any further.
해설자 말 듣고 찌르자.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do
아니,
everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
레프트 훅을 버틸 수 있을까가 아니라 그 전에 찌르면 되는 거 아닐까? 방심하게 만들고 찌르는 거지. 아무 말도 못하고 오자마자 푹 찌르는 거지.
Fortunately, she's only a princess, whereas you are a valiant and talented warrior. It'll be easy.
아니 이
so long
해설자는
as you
도대체
stay
뭘 믿고 나한테 지금
We can't just go through with this and listen to him.
아니야 죽이는 거 맞아. 이 오두막의 형태가 그대로라면은 들어가자마자 죽이는 게 맞다고 생각해.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air.
단검 가져가서
You take the blade.
지하실에 들어가서 여기까지는 똑같아요.
The door to the basement creak.
그냥 내려가. 아무 말도 하지 마. 아무 말도 하지 말고 내려가.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
아, 이 누나는 할만. 결의를 굳히고 다가간다. 야, 가자.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
할 수 있어. 할 수 있어.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
아니, 해봐야 될 거 아니야. 아깐 해보지도 못했잖아.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get
아,
close
그게
enough to
틀린
use
말은
it.
아닌데, 누나.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding
아니야.
out what I
아니,
can do.
난 누나가 그런 말 할 거라는 거 이미 알고 있어.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
해설자야, 나 너만 믿는다. 나 진짜 너만 믿는다. 진짜로. 공주를 죽인다.
You lunge
됐다.
forward without a moment's hesitation.
됐다. 뭔가 일어나다. 당신은 일말의 망설임도 없이 공주에게 달려듭니다.
You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
됐어. 성공했나봐.
Oh,
아?
this is it, isn't it?
어떻게 말을 하세요?
I'm almost embarrassed.
Oh?
I should have seen that coming.
어라?
But I have to wonder,
어라?
do you actually believe
잠깐만.
this
네?
was enough to kill me?
네? 아, 뭔 말이세요? 아, 잠깐 이건 또 뭔 말이세요? 아니요.
It's like she's convinced she can't.
안 죽는다고?
Yes.
아니,
Even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be
죽어,
alive and well.
죽어가는 거 아니야? 아, 잠깐만, 죽어가는 거 아니야?
But it's over, isn't it?
아,
She stopped breathing moments ago.
죽-
That arrogant look still plastered on her face.
죽었잖아.
But is it over? Really
아니,
over?
죽었잖아. 당연히 아니지, 너무 쉬워. 야, 이건 당연히 아니지, 너무 쉬웠잖아. 이거 너무 쉽잖아.
It's over. Don't get all worked up.
에이.
We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that.
왜?
And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not
야,
telling
그래,
us?
해설자 너 나한테 말 안 한 거 있지?
I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from
끝이야?
that.
나한테 더 이상 알려줄 거 없는 거야? 정확히 말해라. 씨, 미치겠다. 아니 그냥 그래 네 말 믿을게. 해설자 네 말이 이번에는 네 말 믿기로 했으니까 네 말이 맞고 공주는 죽었으니까 여기서 나가자. 나가자.
Yes, exactly.
그래.
It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind
그렇지.
you.
나갔지.
Why do I feel like we've done something
아니야.
terrible?
아니, 괜찮아. 끔찍한 일을 저지른 거 맞는데 일단은 보자고 어떻게 되나.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today.
일단 나가자.
Let's just get out of here.
일단 나가자. 일단 나가자.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
야, 이 다음 게 클릭하기가 무서운데 지금.
Only
뭐야?
a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast
야,
emptiness of
해설자도
some
마.
place
이러면 안
far
되는 거
away.
아니니? 야, 해설자야. 이러면 안 되는 거 아니니?
What happened?
야, 세상이 멸망한 이게 세상이 멸망한 거 아니야?
Everyone is fine.
뭐?
It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them.
어?
Don't worry.
어?
You'll be safe
어?
here. This is good.
어?
Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
해설자 야. 야, 공주가 무슨 트리거 야. 세상을 구한 것 치고 결말이 영 별론데?
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain,
네?
endings are a thing of the past.
네?
No. This is the beginning of eternity.
아니.
Your reward.
어?
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
아니, 해설자야.
Time passes.
어.
You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur.
어?
You've never been happier.
아니, 해설자님, 이 약속이 다르잖아요.
Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
야, 공주님 보러 가자. 당연히 아니지. 여기에서 나갈 방법이라도 있어?
I do, but you're probably not going to like it.
공주잖아.
Blade.
그니까
We can use the blade to get out of this.
단검으로 어떻게 나가게?
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you.
그치, 자살하라는 거잖아 지금.
He's right. It's the only way out.
자살하라는 거잖아.
Do you hear that? It wants to take this
아니, 야,
happiness away
이거는
from
아니지.
you. It
야,
wants
어떻게 된
this
거야, 이건.
wonderful place to end.
이건 아니지 않을까?
Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it.
아, 루프를 해야 되니까.
Don't you dare.
이 지옥에서 나갈 수만 이게 맞는 것 같아. 우리가 죽는 거 아니야가 죽어야 되는 거잖아 지금 상황에서는.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for
야, 잠깐만,
saving the
해설자 너
world?
이상하다.
An
말이 이상하다.
eternity of bliss? You ingrate. Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything,
야.
throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs.
공주님?
The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
공주님 살아나는 거 아니죠? 무서운데?
You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die.
어?
The end. Nice knowing you.
해설자 자식이? 유령? 이건 뭐야 이거는. 유령이라뇨.
You're on a path in
뭐야?
the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
어?
is a princess.
야, 해설자의 말이 약간 달라졌다?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
아니 잠깐만, 야, 이 개새끼 이제 알겠다. 네 속임수는 더 이상 안 통해.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for
아니,
the first time.
너 또 그런다. 너 아니잖아. 뭐, 야, 너 뭐냐 너?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine.
냉혈의
It wasn't
목소리?
very hard to
또
get
새로운
her
친구
last
생겼다.
time. We'll just do it again.
또 죽인다고?
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
내 말대로 이 모든 일이 이미 일어났던 일이라고 치자. 내가 왜... 아 이거 아니야. 오두막에 간다. 오두막에 간다? 오두막에 간다. 오케이.
A warning. Before you, she will lie. She won't be a problem.
아 공주는 걱정. 야 냉혈의 목소리 이상한데 얘도? 오두막에 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is cold. A soft odor of dirt permeating
이건
the
또
air.
뭐야?
Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The
야
only furniture of note
해설자야.
is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge.
해설자야 너 이거 이번에도 이거 안 보이니? 이거 거울 안 보이니 이번에도 또?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
아니 해설자야 너 이거 안 보이니 이거?
It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her
아
already.
이미 공주를 죽여가지고 다음 세계엔 뭐가 없는 건가? 야 거울은 너는
That's because there isn't a mirror.
또 그러네.
Table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in
아니
here.
거울 있잖아.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
있잖아.
Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body so we can be done with this.
아니 거울을 가야지.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door.
어?
It's a wall. This really isn't funny.
거울을 닦는다. 이번에도 사라지나?
You reach forward
사라지네.
and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago,
그러니까 아니 이 거울이 도대체 뭐지?
and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly, it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
알 수가 없구만. 야 근데요 여러분들 지금까지 계속 단검을 들고 가져갔잖아요. 단검을 안 가져가면 어떻게 되나? 안 가져갈 수도 있는 거 아니야 지금? 야 이번에 그냥 들어가봐. 그냥 들어가자. 시체가 있다라고 하니까 그냥 들어갑시다.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell.
이번엔 다 막 해지고
Everything
난리도
is
아니다.
coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead.
아니 공주가
The
이런 데서
princess
살아?
lives here. Slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent.
조용하다고?
Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down
왜
and
내려가
see.
보자 했다는 그래.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view.
아...
A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
이게 내가 1일차가 있고 2일차가 있잖아요. 1일차에서 했던 행동의 연장선이 2일차가 되나 본데?
Okay. She's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought,
잠깐,
the top
이거
of a
뭐야,
head
누구세요?
appears from underneath the floor.
누구세요?
Two
아니.
deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a
공주님,
mischievous
공주님.
skeletal grin.
공주님.
And
공주님?
finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
야 이상한데요? 야 그냥 해설자야. 얘 뭔데? 해설자야.
Ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying.
공주님.
What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
그러니까 공주님 이상해요.
Oh, it's you.
아,
Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again.
아
I had
기다리셨어요?
some issues with how our last meeting went.
아 기다리셨구나. 아유 죄송해라.
The
누나?
princess drifts across the room into your
Oh.
orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she
누나
circles.
미안해요. 누나 여기 칼 짜고 있는 건 미안해요. 내가 잘못했어요. 미안해요. 누나
Her touch is cold and ethereal,
나 미안해요.
formless yet real enough that
내가
her icy
잘못했어요.
fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin.
와 씨.
So she has a body. And she's right there. We could probably grab her and kill her again.
아니 유령이잖아.
If we wanted to.
아니 유령이잖아 지금.
We don't
유령인데.
even need a blade.
유
She looks fragile enough to me.
유령이잖아. 붙잡는다. 되겠냐고.
Before she can suspect a thing, you lunge forward and grab her arm.
되겠냐고.
You feel substance
그치?
for the briefest of moments, but then
아.
you feel nothing at all. As though all you've done is clutch at empty air.
아. 야, 되겠냐고.
You're adorable when you're confused.
아, 누나 근데 좀 귀엽다.
But I didn't
아니
say you touch
잠깐만요,
me.
누나. 제가 잘못한 것 같아요. 제가 잘못한 것 같은데 우리 여기까지만 할까요? 우리?
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what?
아니 나는 해설자가 오라고 해서 왔어. 너와 다시 만나게 될 줄 알았다면 널 죽이지 않았을 거야. 나도 죽었는데 너처럼 떠나지는 않아. 어떻게 된 거지? 왜 너와 나는 다르지? 피해자 영인 그만해. 지난번에 넌 날 위협했잖아. 당연히 공격하지. 넌 세상을 멸망시키고 이건 아닌 거고. 넌 죽었잖아. 대부분은 죽었지. 내가 원하는 게 뭐지? 잠깐만 이거 해보자. 나도 죽었는데 너처럼 떠다니지 않아. 이거겠지?
You don't look dead, killer.
당신은 죽었던 사람 같지 않은 거야, 살인자? 아니 난 죽었잖아. 네가 죽였잖아.
The princess grabs your wrist,
어라?
a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her
누나?
grip.
And you don't feel dead.
아니 지금은 아니지. 이전에 죽었지. 이전에.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are.
내가 뭔데요? 내가 뭔가요? 난 뭔가요?
I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me,
오.
I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way
와.
out. I always wound up right back here.
어라? 내가 문 열어주면 되는 건가요, 그러면?
I just wanted to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please.
아, 몸을 빌려대.
So, let me hit your hand.
이번에는 빙의를 당해달라는 건가요? 아까는 억압하시는 이번에는 빙의하시겠다.
After all, you own me.
그렇긴 해요. 틀린 말은 아니에요, 누나.
Absolutely not.
아니라고?
Is she asking if she can possess
그러니까
us?
빙의하고 싶다는 거잖아.
She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place.
에이.
And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her.
에이.
Would she be able to see us if we went along with it?
그러게. 목소리들은 볼 수 있나?
Now isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
와, 근데 이 게임 되게 재밌다.
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
근데 어쨌든 궁금하지 않아? 해설자야. 너도 궁금하지, 솔직히. 싫다면? 일시적인 거겠지? 네가 내 몸에 들어오고 나서도 내 몸에 내가 통제권을 가질 수 있어. 동의하기 전에 내가 이곳을 나가게 되면 어떻게 될지 얘기할 필요가 있어. 난 네가 세계를 멸망시킬 거라 들었어. 나쁘지 않네. 나쁘지 않네. 결국 이건 것 같긴 한데. 사실 의미가 없을 것 같긴 해요. 솔직히 싫다면 해도 할 거고, 일시적인 거겠지? 아닐 거고, 내가 내 몸에 들어와서 통제권이 없을 거고, 세계를 멸망, 이게 무슨 의미가 있어. 나쁘지 않네.
The princess swims through the air in front of you,
받아들여.
pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
받아들여.
Thanks for the body, killer.
어떻게 되나요?
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
이미 됐잖아.
See you soon.
See you soon. 아이고야.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body.
오.
It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul.
오.
I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
되겠냐고. 되겠냐고. 야, 이미 얘 이제
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now.
아.
The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body.
아.
You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
아.
Get up. You've still got a job to do.
뭐야? 일어나라고?
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
아니? 보이는데?
This is what it's
뭐야?
like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
아 드디어 만났어. 해설자랑 영웅의 목소리랑 다 지금 만났어.
So, it doesn't work like that for you? Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor? Are they also supposed to be you?
뭐야? 밑바닥에 깔린 깨진 유리 조각들? 뭐야 그거는?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
Yeah? Go on. Finish the
그래,
thought.
넌 뭐야?
What are you?
넌 뭔데?
I'm a voice? I'm me is what I am. Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
Do you have to deal with this annoying bickering all the time?
내 안만. 아이 공주님도 늘었는데요 지금.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing.
그러니까 그냥 자아가 분열된 거 아닌가요? 이 정도면은?
Hopefully they'll all go away once we leave this place. I don't know how you can tolerate all of this noise.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm
해설자가 제일 이상해.
more important.
솔직히 공주보다 해설자가 더 이상해.
So you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
야 잠깐만. 해설자가 진짜 전에 공주를 죽이지 못한 친구인가?
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
어라?
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
아니 해설자 킹받네 진짜로.
Oh, shut up. Stop trying to manipulate everyone. Or don't, actually. It doesn't really matter.
사라진다고?
Because you won't be around to do this for much longer.
왜?
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
아니 여기서 무슨 뭐가 더 어떻게 할 수 있는 방법이 뭐가 있어? 머리가 어지러워. 목소리가 너무 그러니까 목소리가 너무 많긴 해 지금.
Then don't think. Just move.
아이 공주님도 조용히 하세요.
One way or another, this is all going to end. Wouldn't it be nice if he ends with it?
I guess we'll just have to see what happens when we leave. But if I'm stuck in here, I'll be making some renovations. It's too crowded.
그러니까 지금 너무 목소리가 많아요. 일단 떠납니다.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
아하.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
아니 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거 아니에요?
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
그러니까 아니 근데 이건 궁금하긴 해. 해설자가 말하는 세상이 멸망한다의 기준이 뭔지가 궁금하긴 해.
You don't know that.
그러니까
I do.
안다고? 어떻게?
Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world? It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world.
오.
Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world. I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices,
잠깐만 이거 왜 여기 있냐?
body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door.
이게 반대쪽이구나. 지금 그러니까 이쪽에 거울이 있는 거고 이쪽에 칼이 있는 거구나.
For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
It's because he can't stop me. Why do you think he sent you here?
직접 할 순 없으니까. 아이고 뭐야 이거.
I hate to admit it, but she's not wrong.
뭐 그래?
It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate.
해설자가 정해진 역할만 하는 거. 그러니까 해설자가 공주를 못 죽인 거네.
And wine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
단검을 가져간다. 몸을 끌어다 단검을 가져간다. 아이씨 뭐야. 당신은 멍하니 손을 뻗어 단검을 짚습니다. 그걸로 뭘 할 생각이죠? 야 여기서 킬더 프린세스를 한다고? 여기서? 이게 맞긴 하고 야 2번 죽인다고? 좀 그런데 죽여.
Isn't that an interesting idea?
이제 죽일 수 있지 않을까?
I hadn't even considered it as an option. Slaying her would slay you. Are you sure you're willing to do that?
야 해설자 너 여기 와서 맘약해지는 건 좀 이상하지 않냐?
Of course we're sure. The decision has already been made.
가자.
Right then. Better this than ferrying her out of here.
What do you think you're doing?
뭘 하긴.
Hear that? She's scared. No point wasting more time. Do it.
너 갇힌 거야.
You lift the blade, then plunge it deep into your guts. Pain spreads quickly through your torso as you attempt to turn its edge up towards your heart.
No!
끝났는데?
Princess, her spirit bound to your prison of flesh as she had once been bound to the basement's prison of stone, cries out in agony
야,
as you slice
내가
through
느끼는
all
고통을 지금 공주도 느끼는 거구나.
Your skin roils and bucks as she violently pushes against it from the inside. Bits of her seep through, white and glowing with ethereal light.
못 나가네.
But still the walls of your prison hold.
Is this really what you wanted? Do you hate me so much that you would kill yourself just to deny me freedom?
아니 그런 건 아닌데 어쨌든 해봐야 될 거 아니야. 야 지금 잠깐 칼 끝이 빨갛게 빛났어요 지금. 우와 야 마우스 포인터 빨갛게 바뀐 거 봐. 우와.
Yes, he would. Because he knows what's at stake and he knows what will happen if you leave this place. I'm not so sure about all of that.
그러니까 뭐 어떻게 될지는 사실 잘 모르는데.
Don't be modest. You're a hero.
영웅이라고?
Do you think I'm just going to stick around while you die? Hell no, I'm leaving.
나가신다고요? 안 돼요.
You can try if you want. But I think this is an end for all of us.
모두 빠이.
Out, let me out, let me out, let me out!
안 되죠.
The princess's form continues struggling to pull itself out of you, but the effort is in vain.
이미 늦은 것 같습니다.
You collapse to your knees.
오.
Your vision blurs,
엑소시스트.
then starts to fade.
야 이거 공주님 얼굴 보이는데요?
And then what happens?
뭐야?
I think he's gone.
어?
Just like everything else.
오.
Are we dead?
그런 거 같은데? 죽은 거 같은데 우리?
I don't know. I don't think so. This is different than it was last time.
어라? 공주님? 어라? 머릿속 목소리들끼리 논쟁하는 동안 공주가 당신의 몸에서 기어나와 아무것도 없는 공허의 한복판에 쓰러진다.
Do you think we're done?
아닌가요?
Do you?
야 엔티티님이 또 가져가는 엔티티님 오셨는데 또? 하지만 당신은 대답하지 못한다. 영원히 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Where did she go?
거울에 닿아간다. 괜찮을 거야. 날 믿어. 우린 전에 여기 왔었고 넌 그때도 두려워했어.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. You don't need to comfort him.
조만간 또 보자. 괜찮을 거야.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. whatever makes you happy.
이번엔 어떻게 생긴 공주일지 궁금하긴 하네요. 당신은 거울에 다가간다. 당신이 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 이번에도 모두들 사라졌다. 거울이 매번 모두를 사라지게 만든다. 하지만 당신은 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인해야 한다. 성장했다고 하네요. 당신은 성장했다. 당신은 또다시 정막에 와있다. 오두막에 간다. 이번엔 어떤 오두막이... 유령이네. 당신은 오두막에 있다. 그녀에게 다가간다. 손이야, 손.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
그러니까 이런 형태를 여러 번을 봐야 되네. 넌 저번과 같은 존재야? 얼마나 변화했지?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
손이 본체라기보다는 이거 자체가 그냥 하나의 개체인 것 같은데, 공주라는 개체가 여러 개가 하나로 모이는 그런 느낌인데? 이 모든 일이 끝나면 내가 널 죽일 거라는 건 알고 있어? 이 모든 일이 끝나면 뭘 하고 싶어?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and
뭔가
complicated truths.
되게 철학적이다. 뭔진
What I will
모르겠는데 되게
be is
철학적이다.
different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
야, 이게 사실 찐사랑 아닐까요? 보이지 않는 벽이 날 가로막았어. 왜 이전과 똑같은 선택을 할 수 없는 거지?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
이게 우리가 이전에 선택하지 않았던 결과들만 나오는 거 보네요. 넌 내가 만났던 자들 중 나를 가장 친절하게 대해줘서 고마워.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
다음엔 어떤 그릇을 원하지?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers. And every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
돌아갈 준비. 엔티티를 공격. 야, 이거 공격 한번 해봐. 아니야. 공격 한번 해볼까? 당신의 의지가 엔티티를 공격하려 하지만 아무 일도 일어나지 않았다.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
돌아갈 준비가 됐어.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
모든 것이 어두워지고 당신은 죽는다. 야, 씨.
You're on a path.
야, 이번에는 지금까지는 칼로 찔렀잖아. 칼을 가져가지 말아보자. 오두마에 가는데 칼을 가져가지 말아봅시다. 이번에는.
You make your way up the shore.
네, 생각보다 많이 어려운 것 같아요. 이번에는 지금까지 단검을 계속 가지고 들어왔거든요. 아니야, 그냥 대화를 해보자. 대화를 해보는 게 좋을 것 같아.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
야, 목소리가 달라.
Is hypnotizing. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
목소리가 달라
You're
지금.
playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
그냥 괜찮은지 보러 왔어. 구해주러 왔어? 구해줘 볼까? 야, 구해주러 왔어? 구해주러 왔어. 구해줘 보자.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
그래, 구해줘 보자.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me?
뭐야?
I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
오.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
어라?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain
이번엔
around her wrist,
이번엔 좀 다를래나?
binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
야, 너는 근데 지금까지 그거를 몇 번이나 겪고서 이런 말을 하는 게 좀 이상하긴 하다, 영웅아.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
없긴 해요.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
아니 모르잖아. 잠깐만. 한번 해보자. 아니 잠깐 그 전에 이야기를 한번 해. 아니야 잠깐. 이야기를 좀 합시다. 궁금합니다.
Okay.
이 누나 이 웃고 있는 게 난 지금 너무 불안해. 이름이 뭐세요? 이 이름부터 물어봅시다. 안녕. 네 이름은 뭐니?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess
영웅아 좀
Princess?
조용히 좀 해봐봐. 난 너에 대해서 아무것도 몰라. 그저 이유가 있으니까 여기 갇혔다는 것만 알아.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
뭔데? 야, 그 이유가 뭔데요?
I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
그 이유를 모르시는 게 이상하다는 생각은 안 해보셨습니까?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
해설자야. 내가 너 때문에 한번 죽었잖아. 그래서 아니 잠깐 이건 됐고 난 널 죽이라는 임무를 받았어. 네가 세상을 끝장낼 거라 내 사실대로 말하자. 하지만 네가 위험하다고 생각하지 않아. 하지만 널 직접 봐야겠다고 생각했어. 하지만 네가 위험하다고 생각하지 않아.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
그치.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
아니 그러니까 그 이야기는 끝까지 안 해주더라고. 아니 그래서 난 네가 위험하다고 생각하지 않아.
Sooner or later, you'll learn to trust me. Hopefully it won't be too late when you finally come around.
아니 이야기를 들어보자 해설자야. 이상하잖아.
Thank you for believing me. Now, can you help me get out of here?
아직 질문이 몇 개 남아있어. 야 이야기를 좀 더 합시다. 궁금한 게 좀 더 있으니까.
There's going to be plenty of time to chat after I'm free, but okay. What do you want to know?
널 죽이진 않겠지만 풀어줄 순 없어. 이거 너무 위험해. 이거 아니야. 사람을 본 게 정말 오랫동안이라고 했는데 그동안 뭘 먹고 살아온 거지? 이거는 물어볼 수 있지 않을까?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
아니 있지. 너가 인간인지 아닌지는 확인을 해야 될 거 아니야.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess.
네?
That's hardly relevant.
아니
Okay, but actually, what has she
그러니까
been
아니
into?
일단 뭐 살려면
She
먹어야 될
has
거
to eat,
아니야.
right?
그래. 좋아, 나가게 해주지. 내가 이 결정을 후회하게 하지 마.
You're only making this more difficult.
아니야, 기다려봐.
Thank you, and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing.
야, 이게 맞냐 근데?
Walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall.
이게
Give them
맞는?
a tug.
이게 맞나?
They're large and heavy. Far too solid for you to even
야, 위에
imagine.
칼이 있거든? 칼 가져올까? 괜찮을까?
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
열쇠는 당연히 없지. 널 죽이러 온 거라니까 원래는.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
위층에 있을 거라고.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains
야,
somewhere in the
위에 칼이 있긴 하거든. 괜찮겠니? 그 칼 그걸로? 열쇠가 없다면 다른 좋은 생각 있어? 위로 올라가 보지. 여기 어딘가에 열쇠가 있을지도 몰라. 만약 없다 해도 족쇄를 부술 만한 건 찾을 수 있겠지. 야, 열쇠가 없다면 다른 좋은 생각 있어라고 가자. 이게 궁금하잖아.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
체인을 끊을 방법이 있는. 야, 무서워요 표정이 자꾸.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
진짜로?
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
그거 맞아 그거?
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
뭐야?
You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
뭐야?
Is someone else here?
야, 잠겼어? 야, 저 뭐야?
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence.
야, 누가? 야, 이건 아니지 않냐?
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task
아니
is
칼을
done.
줘. 칼을.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
아니, 야, 잠깐 이거 누가 잠근 거야? 이거 해설자가 잠근 건가?
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
그렇게 됐어.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
어떻게 그걸 부수죠?
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
아니야.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
아니 일단은 구해주자. 구하는 게 맞지.
Fine.
구해야지. 여기까지는 구해야지.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
괜찮니?
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the
그러니까
whole
비명도
ordeal.
안 질렀어.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping
야, 또
rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything?
그러니까.
It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
아니 잠깐만, 진작 그러면 벗어날 수 있었던 거네.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
가자. 가자.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into
아니
the world.
네가 어떻게 할 건데? 네가 뭘 할 수 있는데?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
네? 뭐야? 아니
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do
이건
that.
아니지. 네가 왜 날 조종해?
Watch me.
What are you doing?
아니야. 야야 가. 공주를 죽인다. 경고한다. 경고한다.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
그러니까 아니 내가 할래. 야 해설자야.
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here
아니야.
alive.
공주를 죽인다. 저항한다. 저항한다.
The blade. Move the blade.
아니 야 해설자 자식아.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
아니야 오지마. 넌 도망쳐.
We both know this isn't you.
와 씨.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
뭐 하긴.
I'm sorry.
어?
I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
와.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake.
와.
Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
아니 아직 이해가 안 풀려났잖아 근데.
Whatever.
아닌가?
She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every
와
inch
씨.
burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
아.
Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last
뭐,
thrust
됐다.
of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest
와, 야,
as
근데
tears carve rivulets of pink down her
야,
blood-spattered cheeks.
이 공주님은 그래서 이 다음이 궁금하긴 하다. 어떻게 되냐 그래서?
It can't just end like this.
그러니까 야 여기서 끝내면은 그건 아니지.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
야 이 다음 챕터가 궁금하냐. 살렸잖아. 그러면 다음 챕터에서 우리가 아는 사이로 나오나?
Everything goes dark, and you die.
소공녀.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to...
아, 야 잠깐만. 야 오두막에 가자. 뭔데? 뭐가 있는데? 이번 오두막은
Oh
뭔데?
boy. Before she will
알았어,
lie.
알았어,
If
알았어,
only
알았어.
you knew what you
야
did to
홀린
us.
자의 목소리는 또 누구야? 홀렸어 이번에.
Excuse
네?
me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life
진짜.
last time. He is trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
아니 야 홀렸다기보다는 이거는 그거잖아. 야 우리는 할 만큼 했어 이 정도면.
Last time? What are you talking about?
아이 했었다. 넌 또 기억 못하네.
I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore it.
I
I do. But I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
그러니까.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them.
야 조용히 해 조용히 해.
Better
그래
kept
조용히 해.
quiet.
조용히 해.
Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
가자. 오두막에 들어간다. 이번에도 거울 있을래나? 이번에도
The
거울이
interior
있네요.
of
아,
the cabin
다르다.
is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
아니 근데 지금 보면은 이 그 단검을 이번에도 안 가져가는 게 맞는 것 같은 게 애시당초 죽일 생각이 없었단 말이지.
The blade is your implement.
마무리가 문제가
You'll
아니야.
need it if you want to do this right.
아 거울 됐어. 그냥 들어가. 어차피 똑같아.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming.
그러니까 공주가 이번엔 우리를 반기는 상황인 거잖아, 오히려 역으로.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
야 목소리 달라 또 이번에. 아까랑 또 달라.
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time.
야 이거 홀린.
I think we're in love.
야 이 홀린 놈 진짜 홀렸는데?
Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this.
그래, 야 뭐가 됐든 간에 궁금한 건 궁금한 거다.
Yes, for
가보자.
everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
보자.
You walk down the stairs
뭐야?
and lock eyes with the princess.
선생님 그림체가
There's a
약간
heavy
달라.
chain around her wrist,
그림-
binding her to the far wall.
그림체가 달라졌는데요, 선생님? 맞나요, 이거?
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
야, 이거 설마 그건가? 전 회차에 있던 목소리가 이 무슨 자의 목소리로 바뀌는 건가?
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero.
야,
I
이
was so worried you
공주님
wouldn't come
뭔가
back.
분위기 바뀌었다?
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. You've been... That's right, villain. And
그래.
you killed us. Well, she killed us.
그러니까 많은 사람들이 우리를 죽였지. 자살도 하고. 그러니까 죽기 전에 다른 목소리가 그러니까 다른 영웅이 다른 목소리로 바뀌고 영웅의 목소리가 새로운 게 맞아요.
Only because he made us try and kill her, it was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by
그러니까
cruelty.
직전 회차에 내가 홀린 자가 된 거네.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset.
그래, 야 다시 시작한 거 멸망시킨 게 아니잖아.
Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
아니 잠깐만, 세계를 오가는 걸 어떻게 알아? 처음 만났다며.
Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this?
아니 근데
Are you sure we
공주님
want to rescue her?
레스큐가 구하는 게 맞지 이번에는?
We never saw a world end.
그래.
Now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
아니 내 생각에는 그러니까 공주가 세상을 멸망시키는 걸 본 적은 한 번도 없잖아. 그렇지 않아?
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
지난번에 날 죽였지. 엄청나게 아팠다고 왜 그랬지? 칼을 안 가져왔는데 또 달라줘야 돼? 야 이거 물어보자. 이거 지난번에 있었던 일은 미안해. 널 죽이라고 날 보낸 해설자가 내 몸을 조종했지. 아주 불공평했어. 질문 있어. 지난번에 날 죽이고 난 다음 혹시 세상을 멸망시켰어? 나 이거 궁금하다.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
어라?
Isn't that just like our
어라라?
darling princess? She wants
어라라?
to make us happy.
이분
My heart melts
이분-
further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
에? 아니 세상의 멸망은 원하지 않아. 세상이 멸망하든 상관없어. 원하지 않아.
Then I didn't end the world.
왜 이렇게 상큼하게 귀여워지셨나요?
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. Not so sure.
잘 모르겠는데 이거는. 내가 죽고 나서 무슨 일이 있었지?
You died, and now we're talking.
네? 그거 맞아요? 이거 아닌 것 같은데. 칼을 안 가져왔는데 또 잘라줘야 돼?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with.
네?
You can cut my arm off again.
뭐라는 거예요, 저기요?
We won't be laying a finger on her
저기요.
perfect wrists.
무슨
And
말이에요,
indeed,
그거는?
We won't even have to.
공주야,
You
그게
see
무슨
how
말이니?
dainty her hands are. We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
아니,
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's
그러니까 아니
weird?
공주 왜 이렇게 순종적이지 갑자기?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
아니
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre
이상하긴 해.
behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
아니 지난번에 있었던 일은 미안해. 널 죽이라고 날 보낸 해설자가 내 몸을 조종해서 아주 불공평했지.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
아니 너는 좀 조용히 있어봐. 다 그냥 가만히
That's
있어봐.
okay. You were just doing your best.
뭐라는
And that's all
거예요?
that matters.
아니 이상하잖아. 공주님 왜 그러세요
She
도대체?
took that in stride.
그러니까 야,
To a
이상할 정도인데
surprising
이거 맞는
extent.
이상하게 정말 이상한데?
An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect.
조용히 넌 좀 조용히
Do you
해.
think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
해설자 같은 버전이 공주한테도 해설자가 있을 수 있다.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
공주를 구한다.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
이미 겪어봤으니까.
I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
아니 홀린 자가 이상하긴 한데 틀린 말을 하는 것 같진 않아.
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
뭐야
You
공주.
approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked.
공주
I'll be damned.
공주 그림체가
Wizard.
바뀌었잖아요. 아니 이 공주 아니었잖아요. 우리 저번에 계속 봤던 공주님이 계속 달라지시나잖아요 이게.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
그러니까 찜찜하긴 한데 너무 밝으니까 지금.
The princess jumps
뭐야?
up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
야 해피엔딩이 존재하는 거였어?
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
아니 근데 생각해봐. 얘가 어떻게 죽일 건데 이제 보여주나?
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
그러게 뭘 할까? 뭘 하고 싶어?
Let me guess. End the world?
아니 세상 멸망시키기가 자꾸 왜 나오는데?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
그래?
She doesn't
의외네.
even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstand it? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
그러니까 아니 뭔가 멸망시키는 거에 대한 동기가 없는 거 아니야 지금?
You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
아니 모르는 거 아니야?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection.
그러게.
And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
봐봐 아니 아무것도 지금 원하는 게 없잖아. 세상의 멸망을 원해? 물어보자. 그래 물어보자 그냥 대놓고.
Are you seriously asking her that?
아니 궁금하잖아.
Oh, we've been over this one. No, I do not want to end the world.
뭐야 너 목소리가 이상해졌는데요 지금? 나가고 싶다면 나가자.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
된 거야? 설마 성공한 거야? 해피엔딩 가는 거야?
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with.
아니, 결국 멸망 안 시키는 거 아니야? 이렇게 되면?
You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this.
아니, 야 행복하면 좋은 거 아니냐? 멸망 안 시킬 거잖아. 이러면.
And what happens after we walk up the stairs?
어?
Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move.
그러니까 이거 아까도 이랬잖아.
Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
그러니까 나가야지.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
아니 하지만 이미 여기까지 왔는걸?
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
열 수 있겠어? 야, 열 수 있겠어? 함께 한다면 열 수 있을 거야. 함께 한다면 열 수 있을 거야.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And
그리고
the lock
열렸어.
clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
야, 진짜 성공했는데? 뭐냐 이거? 야, 얘 성공하면 안 되는 거 아니야?
I told you our love was
미치겠다
insurmountable.
진짜. 뭐냐 이거?
You and the princess make your way upstairs and the blade. That's right. There's still a chance for you to
아니야,
do the right
아니야.
thing. Take the blade from the table and
이미-
slay her before it's too late.
해설자야, 이미 늦었어. 포기해. 그러지 않는다.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
아이, 싫어요. 아이, 난 지금 이 상황이 너무 즐거운데.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
맞아. 나가자.
Yes, I
나갔어.
suppose you are going to do
나갔어,
that, aren't you?
나갔어.
You cross the room,
드디어
opening
나갔어.
the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
나갔어. 나갔어. 아무 애도 없잖아. 아무 애도 없잖아. 아무 애도 없었잖아. 그래. 아무 애도 없었잖아. 된 거 아니야 이거면?
A happy ending at last.
해피엔딩. 야, 그 음악이 왜 이래?
We did it. What should we do now?
그 손 또 나타나나요?
Where did everything go?
손 나타나네.
Where did he go?
해설자 사라지고.
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold.
어라?
Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat
Oh,
worthy of a
잠깐만.
princess.
아 그러네 그러네. 이게 또 하나의 형태가 됐네. 그러네. 야 궁금하다. 이 엔딩이 어떻게 될지 궁금하다. 하지만 당신은 외투를 만들어주지 못한다. 영원히. 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
뭐겠어. 여기야. 걱정하지 마. 이번에 좀 더 잘 알았을래나? 야 이번엔 썩었네요. 수척해졌다. 썩었어. 당신은 또다시 정막에 와있다. 이번 오두막은 어떤 오두막일까요? 이번 오두막은 뭐 정상이라면 정상이네. 당신은 오두막에 있다.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
그러니까 뭔가 이게 공주가 약간 성장하는 과정, 그러니까 내면이 성장하는 과정을 보여주는 걸까? 넌 모순이 아니야. 모순은 존재하지 않아.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no I am everything that you have known me to be. But I am also none of it.
동시에 아무것도 아니라고. 아무리 다시 돌아가도 우리 둘은 매번 서로를 다치게 해. 그 사실이 널 변화시키진 않아? 더 나쁘게 만들지 않아?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
사실 오히려 널 더 좋아하게 만들어. 그게 무슨 뜻인지 모르겠어. 아니, 네 옆에 있으면 모든 게 작아 보여. 난 딱히 관심 없어. 모든 게 끝나길 원할 뿐이야. 침묵한다.
You are what brings me meaning. Know that the pain of your journey will subside in due time. But you still have a ways to go before we are done.
야, 우리가 한 세계를 두고 떠날 때 그 세계는 어떻게 되는 거야?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me.
아니 이게 그러니까 공주가 세상을 멸망시킨다라는 게 결국은 이 여기로 돌아온다는 소리가 아닐까? 그러니까 해설자가 계속 말하는 해설자는 여기에 와본 적이 없다라는 게 이 공간 자체가 해설자일 수도 있잖아.
Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
스스로의 몸을 파괴한다. 당신은 스스로의 목숨을 끊으려 한다. 그러나 당신의 몸이 있어야 할 곳은 아무것도 느껴지지 않는다. 수많은 손들 중 하나가 당신에게 뻗어와 부드럽게 당신의 여벌골을 어루만진다.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
안 되네. 준비가 됐어.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
모든 것은 어두워지고 당신은 죽는다.
You're on a path.
야, 그러면 지금 안 해본 게 뭐가 있죠? 떠나는 거 해봤고, 칼로 가서 찌르는 거 해봤고, 칼을 가져가서 구해줄까? 칼을 가져가서 구해주는 것도 방법이잖아, 그치? 칼을 가져가서 구해주자. 그러자. 이번엔 칼을 가져가서 구해주자.
You make your way up.
칼을
The interior
가져가서
of the blade is your implant.
단검을 가져가서
You take the blade from the table.
구해주자.
door to the basement. Her voice.
Who's there?
그러니까 이게 칼을 가져가면 기본적으로 나를 싫어하는 것 같아. 얘기하고 배신 이미 했어요. 이미 했어요. 계단을 내려간다.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
하고 대화하러 왔을 뿐이야. 칼을 가져와서 안 죽이면 되잖아, 그치?
Then why did you bring a knife with you?
여기서
She makes
칼을
it look like
내려놓자.
you dare. It's fine.
떨어뜨린다.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
그래, 이제부터는 달라질 거예요.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
야, 근데 아까 그 사랑에 빠진 공주보단 이 공주가 좀 더 뭔가 정상적으로 보이는 건 나만의 착각이니?
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
내가 왜 널 죽이러 온 건지 알아?
Do you?
아니, 들은 게 있어서 알지. 그걸 믿을지는 다른 문제지만.
So you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
날 유혹하는 거야? 아니, 의미 없잖아. 어떻게 해야 널 나가게 할 수 있지?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
그러니까 아까는 행복한 상태에서 아예 대화를 했던 상태에서 칼을 쓴 거잖아. 근데 지금은 칼을 가지고 저기가 있는 상태에서 쓴 거니까 좀 다르지 않을까요?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she suggests.
이거 해보자. 이름이 뭐지 않고 얼마나 오래 했었지 이것도 아니고 대화는 충분해.
Oh, have you just...
You know.
나갈 수 있게 도와주지. 이거 안 해봤잖아요. 나갈 수 있게 도와주자.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
안 되겠지.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
일단 부술 순 없고요.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
위층에 있을 거라 가볼까? 위층에 가본 적이 없구나
Whoever locked the
생각해보니까.
princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
위로 올라가 볼게. 위로 올라가 보자.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the
잠기네.
basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
잠긴다.
You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
도로 내려간다.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier
이게
if you'd
아닌가?
simply slain her like you were supposed
뭔가
to.
방법이 있을 것 같은데 이게.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
다르네. 뭔가 달라졌네.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
공주를 구한다.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding
이거
chain.
아까랑 좀 다르긴 해요. 상황이.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long you're able to crack through bone and she pulls the bleeding stuff
이것도
of her arm
사랑한다
through
루트로
the
가려나?
iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
그러니까
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
야 근데 이번엔 도와줬잖아.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
어허.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
그래 나가자. 잠긴 문으로 다가간다.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes as the princess approaches the Wait, this isn't fair. You can watch me.
이번에 근데 공주를 죽인다가 아예 안 떠요. 아예 안 떠. 이거 아예 안 떠. 지금 보면은.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
아, 다르네.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back.
달라.
but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
지금 내용이 달라. 아까는 우리가 도와준다로 시작해가지고 이렇게 된 건데 지금 도와주지 않고 칼을 들이댄 상태에서 시작한 거잖아. 달라.
Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
아니야, 임마 가만히 있어봐. 저항한다.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I
와.
can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
야, 이번에는 되게
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
이번에는 한 번에 죽일 건가 보다.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an
Wow.
almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as
Wow,
she watches you
이게
collapse to the
달라.
ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
죄수. 다르네. 맞네. 제대로 루트에 탔네.
You're on a path. You're here.
오두막에 간다.
A warning. She will
목소리
lie.
누굴까?
Yes,
의심의
yes,
목소리.
don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
근데 오두막 이번에는 어떤 걸지 궁금하긴 하네요.
The interior of the
아까랑
cabin is
같은데?
less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold,
아까랑
uninviting
같은
stone
구역
walls,
아닌가요, 이거?
and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolt the blade.
잠깐만, 이거 근데 아까 단검을 가져가긴 가져갔잖아. 어서 오세요. 그러네. 단검을 가져가야 되나? 이번 근데 아까도 단검 가져가긴 했잖아. 단검 가져가 보자. 단검 가져가서 이번에도 구한다라고 가자.
You take the blade for good idea.
지하실에 들어간다.
The door to the basement.
봐봐, 이게 아까
creaks open, revealing an
사랑에
old
빠진
stone
공주랑은
staircase.
같은 곳인데
A few
달라.
sputtering
애매하게 달라.
torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path. Dance her voice.
Is that a visitor I hear?
봐봐.
Please,
달라.
come downstairs. It's
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you.
와,
The
뭐야?
heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves.
이분은 또
The
누구세요?
chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she
안녕하세요?
adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything
그러니까
seems to serve a
얘는
distinct
왜
purpose,
풀려지니까?
there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
예, 그렇죠. 죄수고 배경이 감옥인 거에 떠나서 이게 또 묘하다. 내가 딱히 뭘 할 필요가 없겠는데? 아주 단단히 묶여 있잖아. 그냥 여기에 버려두고 떠나야겠어. 공주를 지하실에 놔둔다. 공주의 앞에 앉는다.
You step towards the princess.
달라.
But
이
she stops
공주
you
아까
before you get
공주랑
too
달라.
close, holding up one shackled hand.
왜?
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
야, 이번엔 되게 이성적이네요, 공주가.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
앉으라는 곳에 앉는다.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
그러게요. 사실 나도 잘 모르겠긴 해요. 내 의도라니 무슨 뜻이지? 난 여기 온 적이 있어. 그건 나만 기억하는 건가? 내가 죽은 뒤로 무슨 일이 있었지? 저 벽에는 빈 족쇄는 누굴 위한 거지? 내 의도라니 무슨 뜻이지?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
근데 목을 자르긴 좀 그렇잖아.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
그러니까 아니 그러니까.
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her. Unless she really could survive.
아 모르는 거잖아.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
아 그래? 아이고. 난 여기 온 적이 있어. 그건 나만 기억하는 건가?
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
So you've already been here.
이미 야 공주도 기억을 잃지 않았네.
As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously.
그러니까 내가 실패를 하는 게 예상
You being
외라고?
here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else. I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
아 근데 난 아까부터 해설자가 좀 의심스러운 게 뭐냐면은 2회차에 대한 기억이 계속 없거든? 2회차에 대한 기억이 계속 없다고 하는데 이 내용에 대해서 알고 있는 게 굉장히 수상해요.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there.
왜?
It's important.
왜 아무것도 모르게 해야 돼?
Necessary even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before.
그러니까
Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
아니 일단은 뭐 어느 쪽이든 간에 아니까 과거의 기억들을.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful
야
to be in
의심의
the dark?
목소리 되게 뭔가 내가 하고 싶은 말 대신 다 해준다.
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
뭔 소리야 이게?
Your success hinges on you having imperfect information.
내가 모르는 게 많아야 된다. 내가 오히려 몰라야 이게 성공률이 올라간다고?
I won't. Fine. But you won't get another word from me on the matter. Yeah, sure. Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
아예 멍 때리는 게 아니라 지금 머릿속에서 엄청난 토론이 이루어지고 있다고요, 공주님 지금. 내가 죽은 뒤로 무슨 일이 있었지?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
자기 자신이 멸망의 원인이라는 거가 그럴 수도 있어요. 그러니까 정확히 뭐가 원인인지 지금 잘 모르겠어. 공주가 원인인지 내가 원인인지를 지금 잘 모르겠어.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why.
그러니까 지금 보면은 나만 이 루프에 묶인 게 아니라 공주도 묶여 있잖아. 목에 족쇄가 걸려 있는데 내가 어떻게 자를 수가 없는데요?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something
뭔가 하나 진짜로?
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
해설자야. 생각을 해봐. 얘가 아니 나를 무장 해제 시키는 건 좋은데 어차피 얘도 못 움직이잖아.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon,
아니 자꾸
cons
세상을
are she might
끝장낸대.
use it to escape and end the entire world.
아니라니까.
And she might use it to kill you.
아니 세상을 끝장내는 걸 실제로 보여주던가. 아니잖아 지금 그게.
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her.
그러니까.
Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their
둘 중
own
하나를
ways.
믿어야 되는 거라면은 지금은 공주를 믿는 게 맞는 것 같아요. 저 벽에 걸리는 빈 족쇄를 누구 위한 별로 무기일 생각 없어? 믿지 않을 거다. 잊었을까? 넌 잘라 죽였잖아. 내가 널 풀어주는 거지. 너에게 무일 생각. 널 믿겠어. 믿겠어. 던져.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am
아니,
not
왜?
letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
아니 이번에 또 저항 못하게 하는 거야?
You tried this last time. Do you want to know how it went for you?
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right?
We've already tried to take over, but... Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand
그러니까
and do it ourselves.
지금부터는 아마 해설자가
I'm afraid
우리의
of
몸을
dying
조종할 수
again.
없을 거예요.
Are you?
A little. I think you got your point across. Fine.
칼 넘기고요.
You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat.
네? 아니 진짜로?
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
뭐.
No. Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that? Huh.
So that's her play.
이게 속임수라고?
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally,
어라?
you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens.
와우.
The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
아니 되겠냐고 다시 붙이는 게.
The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world.
네?
Are you sure she's not winking at us?
Obviously not. She is thoroughly deceased. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think? What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that? I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a
아니
proper
그
burial.
공주를
She did save the world. Right. You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
잠깐만. 공주가 여기서 나가면 안 되나?
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them. I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things. The danger has passed. You
공주가 없는 상황에서 나가면은 세상이 루프했거든요?
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager
공주
to put my
데려가자.
guard down.
I am. I'm on team let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
아니야, 공주 데려가자. 공주 가져가자. 아니야, 공주를 가져가는 게 맞는 것 같아.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
열렸나 이제?
Did you see that?
움직였잖아. 지금 눈 움직였잖아.
She didn't.
아니 눈 움직였잖아 지금. 눈 움직였잖아요. 선생님.
But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
오두막을 떠나 보상을 받는다. 말곤 또 없나요? 없네.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
그치, 공주가 밖으로 나가는 게 조건이었네.
Well played.
그치. 잘했어.
This is the end of the world, isn't it?
야,
I always thought I'd at
이거네.
least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already over.
이게 멸망이네. 이 현상이 멸망이네.
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the
그러니까
world.
저 녀석의
after all.
멸망이었네.
Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
아, 이 세상의 멸망이라는 게 해설자의 멸망이었네. 하지만 당신은 대답하지 못한다. 영원히 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 돌아온다.
She's gone. Where?
이번에는 어떤 식일까? 앙상해졌어. 해체되었다. 와. 당신은 또다시 정막에 와있다. 이번 오두막은 달라요.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
글쎄다. 넌 이미 알고 있는 거야? 저 바깥에 실존하는 게 있을까? 넌 우리가 실제로 존재한다고 생각해?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
네가 날 돌려보낼 때마다 난 혼자가 아니야. 내게 말을 거는 목소리들이 있어. 일부는 나지만 그중 한 명은 뭔가 다른 존재야. 난 그를 해설자라고 불러. 그는 내가 널 죽이길 원해. 너에게도 해설자가 있어? 그릇들에게도 해설자가 있는 거야?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
모르지. 맞아. 그리고 그를 찾게 되면 너와 난 진실을 알게 되겠지.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
그러니까 약간 뭔가 천수가는 그런 거 맞는 걸 수도 있겠다는 생각은 들어요. 진짜로. 돌아갈 준비가 됐어. 네가 완성되기 전에 이번이 마지막이라면 난 돌아가지 않겠어. 그냥 여기 있을 거야. 할 수만 있다면 영원히.
You have already chosen to walk along this path, and we both know you will see it to completion. But if you need more time, then I will wait with you.
영원히 기다릴 순 없다. 돌아갈 준비가 됐어.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
모든 것이 어두워지고 당신은 죽는다. 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods.
자, 그러면 뭐가 남았죠? 지금 뭐가 남은 거죠? 그러면 칼을 안 들고 들어갔다 죽이기. 그래, 해보자. 칼을 안 들고 들어갔다 죽이기 해보자.
You make your way up.
오두막에 들어가고.
The interior of the blade is
칼을 안 들고 들어갔다가 죽이는 거.
the door to the basement creaked her voice.
Hello?
구해주러 왔어. 거짓말? 이번엔 거짓말을 해볼까요? 처음부터 끝까지?
Wait, really?
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard.
영원히 가두는
It's
거요.
a gamble,
해봤어요.
but it might
안
work.
되더라고.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
한번 해보지. 족쇄를 살펴본다.
You're only making this more difficult.
알아.
You're making a huge mistake.
위로 올라가서 열쇠를 찾아본다. 열쇠가 없다면 다른 좋은 생각이 있어? 이게 그거였지. 열쇠가 없다면 다른 좋은 생각이 물어뜯는 거였지.
Okay, I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out.
다쳤고.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
공주를 죽인다.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back.
Finally.
The wound drives her to the ground.
아.
Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
자, 보자 어떻게 되나.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
뭐 그쵸. 이번에는 속인 거죠.
The princess
어라?
pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back.
어라?
Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
아이고야.
You've made a terrible enemy,
야,
and there's
죽겠는데?
nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
야, 죽겠는데? 야, 잠깐만. 이거 나 죽겠는데?
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you.
괜찮을까?
I'm not so sure.
아닐 것 같은데?
Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm.
와.
Your knife
Wow.
cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground.
Wow.
Your body racked with pain as she rips into you with
야,
tooth
이건
claw.
거의 사자 같은 느낌인데.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
그러니까 공주를 죽인다.
Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you
Wow.
know you've done your fair share of damage as well. Your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
그래 아직 어떻게 될지 모르겠지만 살 수 있어. 아니야 마무리한다. 아니야 얘 여기서 지하실에 가둔다. 아니야 마무리한다로 가는 게 맞는 게 같아.
You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What's this
뭔
about
소리야?
not
잠깐
making it
살아서
out of
나가지
here
못할
alive?
거는 무슨 소리야?
Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised.
그쵸 지금 카에도 손도 이렇고.
Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blades,
둘 다 죽었네, 이번에는.
ribbons, and then you stop.
멈춥니다.
Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
아 근데 공주도 1회차에는 기억 없잖아. 무슨 소리야 갑자기.
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
끝났어?
If you think this is it,
끝 아니야?
you're sorely mistaken. One way or
네
another,
지금
I'll
1회차예요.
make sure you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things.
아 죽었다.
Everything goes dark,
죽어버렸다.
and you die.
죽었다. 마녀. 야.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
아 근데
And in the basement
지금까지
of that cabin
지금까지 봤을
is a
때
princess.
1회차에 기억이 있었던 적은 단 한 번도 없긴 했어요. 이제 2회차에는 기억이 있을 거야. 1회차의 기억이.
You're here to
그 여자가 날 또 죽일 거야. 그 여자가 날 또 죽일 거라고.
again. If he doesn't remember what brilliant.
기회주의자의 목소리야.
Close to our chest. You know I can hear. Did I say I'm not sure we can try?
기회주의자. 오두마에 간다. 가보자.
A warning. She will. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
야 이번에도 칼을 가져가지 말아야겠죠?
The interior of the
이건 또
cabin is a
뭐야?
mess of twisted roots. The walls are chaotic
야,
weave of
이상한 데
knotted
왔는데요,
wood
또?
that, almost as if
뭐야,
by
이거?
accident, just happened to resemble a room.
뭐야
The
이게
floor is damp and
이상하잖아.
earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
아,
The blade is your
야, 이거 그냥 이번에 그냥 들어갈게요 지하실에 그냥 갑시다. 아닌가? 간 거면 가지고 들어가야 되나?
No blade. Hope you know what you're getting us into. It'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this
아니야
time.
일단은 빼자고. 아까 처음이랑 같은
Door to
느낌으로.
the
야 여긴
basement
처음이다
creaks
근데
open,
그치?
revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if her voice.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs.
야 목소리 다르다 이번에도.
Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
물지 않는다고? 침묵한다.
Silence, I see. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I recognize the sound of your nervous little footsteps as soon
그렇군요.
as they came into my home. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
아 그래요? 기억하시는구나.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole
아이
situation.
그럴 리가 없잖아요.
Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
그 전에 죽을 것 같은데?
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
단검이요? 모르겠어요. 지금 가봐야 될 것 같아요.
You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the prince.
아이씨, 우클릭 때가 자꾸 한다.
Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you.
아니 왜
You descend the basement steps, entering the
아니
dark room below.
왜 여기 펄이가 여기 있으신가요? 저기 사족 보행하시는 분이 있으신데 이상하다.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall,
맞냐, 이거?
her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
You made a comment back in the
그러게요.
woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other.
그래 이미 만났다니까.
Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you?
그러게요.
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it.
저 공주님 뭔가 위험해 보인다.
So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us.
아이 공주님이 우리 살려줬으면 좋겠다 이번에는.
Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care
어쨌든
if you've been
죽으라는
here
거지.
before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her.
그런 건가요?
Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground.
그래
where
일단은 이야기를
everyone's happy.
해보자고.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
아니 이미 망한 것 같아 야.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
아 이번 생은 혓바닥 없이 태어났어. 아이고. 대화로 풀지 않을래? 난 무기가 없어. 야, 난 널 풀어줄 만큼 믿지 않는 건 둘째치고 너한테 접근할 만큼 믿지도 않아. 난 떠나겠어. 안녕.
Very pragmatic.
안녕.
That is why you're in charge.
안녕.
Abandoning me, are you? Fine then, run. Tuck your tail between your legs and scamper away.
어라?
You might be able to escape me, but you can't escape from what you are and what you've done. If I don't take you, the wilds will.
어라?
You turn to leave. But
아.
as you do, there's a deep, guttural
그러네.
groan seemingly uttered by the
문이
walls themselves,
닫혀버리는구나.
followed by the creak of wood being stretched beyond its limits. The cabin starts
아,
to get
오두막이
smaller.
좁아지고 있습니다.
What the hell is going on? We're getting out of here and saving our skins. That's what's going on. As the roots that make
Wow.
up the walls of the cramped basement attempt to close in around you, instinct kicks in and you bolt upstairs.
도망쳤나?
The steps are
안 될 것 같은데?
lively, creaking as they expand out of the dirt floor. The
빠져나갔어.
stairway growing smaller and smaller as you dart up towards the light. You manage to squeeze through the door just as the entrance seals itself shut behind you.
와.
The cabin is smaller than it was before, and it's getting even smaller and smaller.
그 살긴 살았다.
That's fine. We'll just leave. I'm sure you'd like to do that.
출근 없다고?
But unfortunately, there is no longer a front door. The roots have already closed over the only possible exit. What little light peeks through the holes that were once windows
못 도망치는
is
거야,
growing
그러면?
weaker as the cabin continues
맞아?
to close in on itself. Shit. What do we do? As your mind races for an answer, you hear the princess's voice crackle up the stairs.
Do you hear that, you loathsome thing? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to choke the breath from your lungs and squeeze the life out of you.
야, 이번엔 뭔가 내가 잘못한 것 같은데? 넌 어쩔 셈이지? 똑같이 뭉개질 텐데. 뭐 같이 뭉개지는 거 아닐까?
As long as you suffer while you die, I'll gladly suffer with you. Especially if I get to hear it happen.
아, 그렇구나.
This doesn't help anyone. I can't believe she'd kill us both just to spite me. See? This is exactly why you were tasked to slay her, and why you shouldn't have left her in the basement.
아니
She's an antisocial
왜
monster who
싫어하니
gladly burned the
그렇게.
whole world for her satisfaction.
너무 싫어하잖아. 왜 싫어하는
The
거야?
roots grow ever closer.
아하.
We know, we can see them.
멈춰. 어째서 이런 짓을 하지? 너도 눌리고 있잖아. 평화로운 짐승이야. 힘을 합치자 친구가 야 지금 와서 친구가 되는 거야가 되나 이게? 어째서 이런 짓을 하지?
Because it's in my nature. Just like you coming here to hurt me is in yours.
That is extremely not us. We're just doing what we're told and making the best out of a difficult situation. We didn't even try to kill her. We just left her here.
그래.
It's the same thing. It isn't. You feel something against your back. A thick root pushing its way into the cabin. An unstoppable, unyielding wall of bark.
이거 되나?
You're running
이거
out of
도망칠 수
time.
있는 방법이 없어 보이는데 그냥.
Shit. What do we do? What do we do?
포기하고 죽음을 받아들인다. 야 여기 와서 이제 이 말을 해봤자 무슨 의미가 있을까? 평화롭게 해결할 방법? 이게 의미가 있나? 아니 의미가 있는 건가 이게? 아 어서 오세요. 본능? 아 기회주의적인 거. 평화롭게 해결 아니야. 아 너도 눌리고 있잖아.
No, what's the matter? You're scared of thorny
야
roots
지금 이 상황에서
digging into
뭘
your
말해도 안 돼.
Are you scared of suffocating in this dark, dark place alone? Good.
That one made me feel bad inside. I don't want people to think we're scared. Nobody likes someone who's scared of things. I, for one, think this is a perfectly
그러게요.
reasonable situation to feel scared in. This place is getting awful tight.
끝났나
The
보다.
floor as the roots continue to expand into the cabin. Ugh, we're never gonna make something of ourselves with that attitude. At least she isn't gonna make something of herself either. At first it's almost gentle, your body being lifted delicately off the ground as the floor shifts beneath you. But the cradle of the growing roots starts to feel suffocating, then unbearably tight. Then that tightness gives way to bulging pressure as they begin.
단검이 없다고 보여줬으면 달라졌을 때. 그러려나?
The sound of creaking wood
끝났다.
is drowned out by the
끝났다.
snaps and pops of your bones, pain flooding your senses as you feel your skin deform, being shaped unnaturally by the living cabin.
The suffering is what you deserve, you hideous creature. Know as you die that you are hated. I hate you, and I'm glad to die horribly if it means you die with me. I wouldn't have it any other way.
The pressure is unfathomable. You can't breathe, your vision swimming with red, your head pounding with trapped blood. And then you pop.
죽었어.
Everything goes dark.
야 근데 이러면은 공주 어떻게 나타나지? 뭐야? 뭐야? 챕터 3는 처음 아니야?
We are a path in the
뭐야?
woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge.
잠깐만. 해설자 어디 갔어? 해설자.
His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from
해설자님?
stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong.
해설자
You're
나오네.
not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here?
엄청 많이 왔지.
I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed
이미
to be.
안 해. 해설자 안 해. 이 내용에 대해서.
Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
둘 다 터져 죽었어요.
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do?
Why does he want to know?
그러게.
I don't mind where we are right now. It's
잠깐, 편집증의 목소리?
nice. I can hear what everyone is thinking.
야, 자, 지금까지의 모든 목소리 다 들리는 건가?
There's no reason
그러네.
to keep secrets. We tried leaving her in the basement, but she made the cabin come to life, and it crushed both of us into a fine paste. And now we're here.
지금까지 나왔던 모든 목소리가 다 한 번에 나오는 거네.
And for what it's worth, I'm with him. This is nice.
It was a fitting end. I'm sorry if it hurt, but doesn't this make it all seem so small?
하나가 더 생긴 거라고요? 아니지 않아?
I see. So the cabin ground you into paste, and now you're convinced you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
우리를 감시하고 있는 저 녀석은 정체가 뭐야?
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you.
오,
That's not an answer to our question.
영웅 있고, 그치?
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
오.
He wants us to kill each other.
그러니까 지금 해설자가 문제인 거잖아, 결국은.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
저 녀석은 질렸어. 내가 어떻게 해야 막을 수 있지? 좋아, 내가 공주를 막고 싶어 한다고 치자. 그럼 어떻게 해야 할 수 있지? 굳이 뭘 해야 돼? 지금도 괜찮잖아. 넌 내게 친절히 대하는 거지. 날 증오하지 않나? 서로 적대하는 사이 아니었어? 난 싫어하는 자신이야 돼. 난 나 자신이어야 해. 넌 너 자신이어야 하고 내가 아니라.
How could you say that? Look at us. We're almost everything.
뭐지 이게?
And we can be even more than this. Don't you feel our potential?
와.
No, you're spot on. You exist, and not as some part of a gestalt entity mushed together with bits of you and the
공주랑
princess.
융합된 게
You're an individual. You exist as your own self, complete with your own physical body, separate from hers. I'm not so sure about that. We were something like that once, but now? And if thinking about that isn't enough to startle you back to reality, consider this.
뭐?
She committed a murder-suicide using a living cabin.
아.
Right. That was
그치,
unpleasant.
죽이긴 했지.
We
맞아.
weren't big fans of that.
맞아, 죽이긴 했어.
I'm sure I would have had us do the same thing if we were in her shoes. We really do make a great pair. He's probably just jealous.
아, 그러니까 지금 해설자가 뭔가 이상해요.
You need to remember that you and the princess are enemies. Don't let bygones be bygones. Remember what she's done to you and how much it hurt.
We can't
어?
go back to that.
뭐야?
We can't go back to the doubting and the hatred and the schemes.
뭐야?
Not after being something as beautiful as this.
뭐야?
Doesn't all that
뭐야?
conflict
방금
feel
뭐였어?
so far away right now? So petty. We've been posed against each other. by
야, 얘
something
뭐가 맞는 건지 잘
understands the
모르겠어.
strength of our unity.
Spoken like, honestly, a real puppet master. Have we considered that maybe She's the one trying to trick us.
I'm not.
But there's a feeling, isn't there? That
그러니까 증언하겠지.
she
당연히
mentioned it
죽였으니까.
is fuzzy, but it's there. Almost like she still hates us.
It feels mutual.
Please, stop. If you pay attention to that feeling, we'll fall apart.
아, 얘도 죽으면서 인격이 하나 더 생긴다고.
Don't look at it!
She's trying to turn you away from the truth. There's something she doesn't want you to see. I think you already know you have to look at it. Everyone's pulling in different directions, but that feeling doesn't have a motive, it just exists. Maybe we should look at it.
내면의 증오를 응시한다. 증오를 응시하는 게 맞지.
Please, don't make us remember how we were.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. Right, she really does hate us, and we hate her. It hurts thinking about us as separate things, but we're separate. We can't hate ourselves. I love me.
What were we thinking? Getting into absolute madness. We exist. We're real. We're separate from her. Of course we are.
우리가 나지.
I don't want to remember what it felt like to be killed. It was so much nicer when it didn't feel like it mattered. And yet you keep remembering. You remember the
해설자가
loathing
난가?
and
아, 나
animosity
이걸
you
모르겠네.
shared with the princess, the pain and the anger and the betrayal. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your
뭐지?
molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
Maybe bygones can't be bygones. I don't know why I ever wanted to share a body with you of all things.
얘는
It's
지금
like my very
저기잖아.
soul reeks of
유령이잖아.
yours. That was horrible. This is better. Finally, I'll be able to hurt you like you deserve.
I wish I didn't have to.
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were.
틈이 생긴다. 이거 오두막인데 이거? 오두막이잖아.
A cabin comes into being among the trees.
와.
It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm.
아니.
You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
Kill me then, if you hate me so much. Just get it over with.
I don't like this. What he wants us to do. It's just cruel. It feels like we'd be killing.
아니 왜 죽이라는 거지 근데?
Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than? We'd just be sitting on a hill.
Do we have to do this?
그러니까
You have to. You
왜?
know.
그러니까 난 얘를 죽여야 되는 이유를 잘 모르겠어 지금. 난 널 죽이고 싶었던 적이 없어. 정말이야. 하지만 우리는 하나가 될 수 없어. 그걸 막았어야만 했어. 공주를 풀어준다. 공주를 죽인다. 풀어준다.
You devious little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming.
뭔데?
He's not in our head anymore, at least not like before. I'm not bluffing. You won't be so smug when it happens.
왜?
He's weak. Thinks he can boss us around when he doesn't have any
그러니까,
authority.
어차피 이제
We're
해수자는 우리 몸
the
맘대로
ones with
못하잖아.
authority around here, so we can do whatever we like.
You're tired, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm fine. Whatever.
You cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. Good luck getting her out of here.
I didn't think you would do that. After You're everything.
와.
It's so cold without you.
울지 마. 해설자 또 갔겠지? 그러나 당신은 대답하지 못했다. 영원히. 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone.
뭐야? 당신은 아무것도 아니다? 안 비춰줘. 하지만 아무것도 아닐 리가 없다. 당신은 다시 집중해서 본다. 그러자 보이기 시작한다. 거울에 비치는 건 바로 너머에 있는 희미하고 그림자에 가려진 무언가. 넌 나야?
I think you know what I am.
해설자가 나구나. 그러네. 거울의 한가운데에 금이 가기 시작한다. 유리에 비친 모습이 둘로 갈라진다. 균열은 점점 더 뻗어나가다가 결국 깨진 유리 파편이 되어 흩어진다. 네가 해설자구나. 아, 그러네. 얘가 해설자구나.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
네가 내가 아니라면 넌 뭐지?
I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
점점 사라진다. 해설자들은 전부 다른 존재였던 거야. 너에게 묻고 싶은 게 정말 많아. 네 조각이 부서질 때마다 아프지 않아? 뭐 맞네. 잠깐만. 뭔가 질문할 때마다 네 조각이 부서져. 넌 내 일부야. 여러 번 만났는데 전부 너였어. 네가 날 만들었다고. 모든 것을 보면 안 됐던 거지. 공주는 무엇이며 그녀도 네가 만든 존재야. 공주는 무엇이지? 이건 아닌 것 같아. 너는 내 일부야.
No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is?
와, 점점 사라진다. 질문을 멈춘다. 조각이 부서진다. 너와 같은 존재, 내가 만났던 건 정말로 다른 버전의 너였군.
You were, and it was by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead,
당신과 그녀의 의식을 다른 세계로 옮기고 재시작한다. 맞네.
into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
내 진짜 정체는 뭐야?
You're the long quiet. The
아,
god I made to
정막이야.
rid the world of death.
죽음의 세계를 막기 위해 제가 창조한 신. 신이라. 난 신이라. 묻고 싶은 게 많아. 역시 루프의 만화. 넌 신이야? 신이었던 거야? 공주야? 구성체 시키는 거야? 어째서 내가 세계의 죽음을 없애길 원하지? 어떻게 세계의 죽음을 없애라는 거야?
By slaying the princess. Once she's gone, everyone will get to exist exactly as they are. No more fear, no more howling chaos, just life.
와, 내가 어째서 이게 아닌 것 같은데? 죽음은 좋은 거라고 생각해. 아니, 중요한 거라고 생각해.
If that's your belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying.
난 신이 되고 싶지 않아. 이건 의미가 없고. 네가 우리에게 저지른 짓 아니고. 넌 신이야. 아니고. 공주는 무엇이지? 공주는 무엇이지? 그래, 공주는 무엇이지?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the
변화의
capacity to
가능성.
change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
점점 사라지는데? 거울을 파괴하자. 당신은 충분히 들었다. 해설자의 말대로 당신은 정막이다. 새로 태동하기 시작한 무한의 신, 그리고 이제 깨어날 시간이다. 이 모든 것은 당신이다. 오두막으로 간다. 마지막으로 한 번 더. 당신은 모든 것의 심장부에 도착했지만 그곳의 마지막 그릇은 없다. 아무것도 보이지 않는다. 아, 쏟아져 나오네. 와.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
신과 신의 만남이네요.
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
나도 내가 그리웠어. 그녀가 무한한 미소로 답한다. 그리고 당신의 다음 말을 인자하게 기다린다. 난 정막이야. 하지만 그게 무슨 의미인지 모르겠어.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
이제 무슨 일이 일어나지?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes.
그러니까 공주는 변화였고 나는 현상 유지? 뭐 그런 건가?
So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
그러게. 그냥 떠나도 되는 건가? 왜 나만 모든 책임을 지는 거냐? 대화로 해결하자. 널 내보내면 세계는 끝장이야. 내가 뭘 하든 이렇게 될 운명이었는데 무슨 의미가 있냐? 널 파괴하거나 내보내는 것 말고도 분명 다른 방법이 있을 거야. 이렇게 될 거라고 내가 말했잖아. 공주를 죽인다. 공주를 죽인다. 이제 우리가 이것을 떠나가야 할 시간이야. 잠깐만 일단 세이브 하나만 해보자. 다른 방법이 있지 않을까?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we
이게
can
난가
never
보네.
return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now. And you chose to pull apart that weave. But you did not choose to end me. We were still one, but we were also separate, and we were free. We were as we are. Will you excise that part of yourself now that you see me from yet another angle?
넌 나의 일부였어. 그래서 차마 널 해칠 수가 없었어. 그치. 나의 일부여서 차마 해칠 수가 없었다.
All things are connected through me and through you. To harm me is to harm yourself, is to harm everything.
the truth of that moment remains our truth. The question is
얘도
to deny
계속 이제
proof of the
나오네.
reality that lies in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you did not live alone. You found me, and we held trust in each other for no reason than to believe in something that wasn't us. Cold skepticism turned to liberation, but it required a journey to blossom. Though you have blossomed, do you have no more journeys left to make? What of those in the spaces beyond? Would you erase the path ahead to hold everyone still?
그 길은 비유에 불과해. 난 그들을 지키고 싶은 거야. 난 싸우지 않겠어. 우리는 싸움을 계속할 필요가 없어. 넌 나 함께 떠날게. 어떻게 하는지 모르겠지만 항복한다.
And that is what I want too, to protect them from the horrors of an eternity without me.
이게 다 하나씩
Your
보여주네.
memory takes a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever, consumed by
일단 지금까지 나왔던 모든 애들을 다 보긴 봅시다. 궁금하니까.
We were both taken by the moment. It was how things are meant to be.
아, 귀신이네 이제.
A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it. I offer you a path to your redemption, and you take my hand in yours. But you do not follow my path. Hands clasped together, you break yourself,
그치.
and you break me with you. You were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to end me again.
그치. 그때는 세계가 멸망의 위기에 처해 있었으니까.
And your actions will echo in the tapestry of time. You gave yourself to a higher purpose.
마지막.
You become nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. You are
맨 처음에
terrified of a power
그분이네.
so far beyond you that it strips the meaning from your every action. But at the feet of that power, the dark parts of you cannot help but burn away. Your inadequacy is reduced to cinders by the blazing light of the divine. When I proclaimed my godhood and presented you with a place by my side in my new creation, you gladly took it. Without me, there is no future to look towards. It is hope
어렵다,
that calls
게임이.
meaning into consciousness.
나는 폭력은 상대하지 않아. 네가 저 그릇이었을 때가 그리워.
My threads, like yours, are unbroken. She is me as much as I was her.
당신과 그녀의 갈등이 가라앉자. 당신은 떨기 시작한다. 당신의 의지가 빠르게 사라지고 있다.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
아니, 아직 공주를 죽인다 있어요. 난 세이브는 해놨으니까. 난 원래부터 너와 싸우고 싶지 않았어. 하지만 어떻게 떠나지?
Nothing
brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
자신을 해방시킨다. 당신은 당신의 내면으로 떨어진다. 고대 생명체의 몸이 동면에서 깨어나고 당신은 한때 느끼지 못했던 팔다리의 감각을 느낀다. 그녀를 제외한 이곳의 모든 것이 당신이다. 당신은 우주적인 규모의 날개를 느낀다. 그러나 유한한 땅에 묶여 뒤틀리고 구겨져 있다. 당신은 구성체가 당신에게 좁혀오는 것을 느낀다. 당신의 무한한 몸을 유한하게 만들고 있다. 당신은 저항한다. 그러나 밀어낼 수 없다.
I love you.
공주의 손을 잡는다. 일순간 밀리지 않던 장벽이 한 번에 부서진다. 당신은 자유롭다. 그녀도 함께한다.
It's magnificent.
이 절대적인 현실을 표현할 단어도 생각도 존재하지 않는다. 이제 어떻게 되죠?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
무한을 향해 발을 내딛는다. 당신과 그녀는 수천 번의 밤과 수천 번의 낮을 향해 걸어간다. 그 밤과 낮은 수천 번의 밤과 낮을 품고 있다. 당신은 존재한다. 그리고 이해한다. 지금까지 그래왔고 앞으로도 그럴 것이다. 당신의 본질은 갈등을 품고 있지만 둘은 결코 떨어지지 않을 것이다. 두려움을 모른 채 살아갈 것이다. 당신과 공주는 마침내 집에 도착했다. 아오. 와우. 야. 야, 게임 잘 만들었다. 게임 잘 만들었는데? 아니 근데 이게 지금 그건 것 같아. 굿엔딩이 아니야. 이게 굿엔딩이 아니야. 아예 덮어쓰기 해버렸네? 아이고. 시작.
You're on a path in the woods. You make your a warning. She will not.
아니야 잠깐만, 이게 저기가 아니야. 근데 지금 그렇게 되면 다 이게 그런 것 같은데. 잠깐만.
You take.
결의를 굳히고
You step
다가가서
forward.
공주를 죽이고. 공주는 죽었어.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your word. Why do I feel like
떠난다.
this isn't an ending? Really? More please the event.
해피엔딩. 잠깐만, 이게 엔딩이었어? 이게 엔딩이었구나. 엔딩이었대요. H를 눌러? 뭐 일단은 그 저기 슬레이 더 프린세스였고요. 이거 말고 다른 엔딩들에 대해서는 직접 한번 해보시기를 추천드립니다. 개인적으로 굉장히 재밌게 했고 좀 난해하긴 했는데 아마 제가 난해한 쪽으로 선택을 해서 그런 걸 거예요. 아마 이거를 좀 더 쉽게 풀어가는 방법이 있을 것 같긴 한데 어쨌든 간에 슬레이 더 프린세스였습니다. 재밌네요. 재밌었습니다. 일단 녹화는 그렇게 하고 난 재밌는데? 아니 마지막에 힌두교 쪽 요소뿐만이 아니라 이거는 힌두가 아니라 불교 쪽인 것 같은데? 힌두라기보단 불교 쪽인 것 같은데 나는? 아니 난해한 거는 난해한 건데 되게 나는 개인적으로 이런 거 되게 좋아하거든요. 이런 식의 어떤 그 생각할 거 많아지는 류가 전 취향이라서 사실 이런 거 되게 좋아하긴 하는데 그래도 뭔가 나중에 다른 스토리들에 대해서 좀 더 어이씨 뭐야 뭐야 시범 방금 저건 뭐야 시범 뭐야 방금 오 네, 아무튼 슬레이더 프린세스였습니다. 재미있었으면 좋겠었다나? 네, 재밌게 보셨으면은 좋을 것 같고요. 뭐 이런 류는 아무래도 직접 플레이해보는 게 이거 영상을 보는 것보다는 훨씬 더 좀 그게 있을 테니까 한번 해보시기를 추천해 드리면서 시범 뭐냐? 계속 바뀐다. 무섭다 이거. 추천을 드리면서 오늘은 여기까지 하도록 하겠습니다. 요거 영상은 같이 올려드리도록 할게요. 썰사인이었습니다. 좋은 밤 되시고요. 여기까지 할게요. 잘 자요. 안녕.